Anybody can get knocked out with a heavy right. Anybody. You let me punch McGregor in the face as hard as I can to his chin. I think I can knock him out.
I mean, yeah.
I think you should be. You've had too much to drink.
Yeah, I think I do.
People a lot bigger than him, a lot bigger than you, hit him a lot harder than you can.
I think you're right. I hope he doesn't hear this.
Porn as well.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really do porn.
It kind of goes with the straight edge thing, man. I feel like a lot. Like
I do porn. I do the shit out of porn.
I don't.
All right.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, welcome to another episode of the Big Fat Tattoo Dad podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, sitting here with a longtime friend of mine, Brandon Embelton, new friend of mine, Max Calkins, and Trevor Wallace of the music scene.
Hell yeah.
I get that a lot, actually.
Dude, I swear I was the first one to say it though.
For real?
Yeah, man, it was like 2.5 years. Well, I don't know. Didn't someone say it before 2.5 years ago?
A lot of people tag me in his shit. Any video of him with a beanie on, everyone's like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, well, you know what? I'm gonna coin it. I'm gonna say I was the OG on that.
Yeah.
TM.
That's like,
No, that's funny.
Dude, I'm stoked to have you both here. Both musicians I admire. I love the work that you guys are doing now, and of course, Brandon, we kind of came up together. So I literally have seen you come from the little kid at the fucking new school, whacking your friend with a noodle, to watching you tour the UK, man. And I gotta say, like, I'm proud of all my homies, man. But there's definitely some that stick out a little more than others. And Max, I'm not taking anything away from you. Like I said, we're newer friends, and I'm sure I'm gonna be able to watch you do the same shit. But I mean, literally, you were the little boy. You're the little guy. Like I remember I used to fucking help you guys EQ your gear and shit.
Absolutely. You guys are the top dogs, and I feel like looking back now, we totally looked up to you guys, and we're asking about like questions with rigs and stuff.
Yeah.
We're like, get the tube amps, here you go, and like we totally watched you guys do it, so it was easy. We had some shortcuts because we watched you guys do it. So
I mean, my generation definitely had that benefit as well. We had Tully the Hero.
Yep.
Not only did we have Tully the Hero, but we had fucking Kevin Billingsley.
Yep.
Like
top dogs.
Yeah.
fucking gear master, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most industry-minded people probably in the world.
Literally.
Top 100 easily. The successes that guy has had, and the way you're saying, like, we kind of ran through shit with you, like we had them for that, and we played shows with them everywhere. Like we would intentionally play shows with them, like in New England, but then we'd also get invited to play shows like out of state, and it was like, oh, it's Memphis May Fire on a tour, but Too Late's also there because they're touring with them. So it pay it forward, I guess, is really the point to it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that. I don't know who the next bands are going to be.
Yeah,
man,
that's
but,
literally what I was thinking too. Who's the next in line? Like, who's gonna look up to like us, and stuff like that? Because I feel like I was the baby band. I was like in the baby. I was just like, oh shit, But yeah, hopefully after all this pandemic's over, we'll get to see who's next.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we need it, man. We definitely need it. You always need the next wave.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because like it's easier when you're in high school or close to high school, or like there's a member or two of your band that are still in school, because a lot of the money comes from the younger demographic that goes to shows,
Yep.
Like, I buy a lot of merch, but I'm also kind of an outlier. Like, not every 30-year-old dude goes to shows and just like buys as much merch as they can. Mm-hmm. Not every 30-year-old dude even goes to shows even,
They'll catch it once in a great while. They'll be like,
exactly, yeah.
She let me go.
Yeah, but and again, so for us, being like kind of the middle-aged band between when you were 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever, you had us who had just kind of aged out of being able to like talk to like high school kids, and then we had you guys. So like we had our own following, but then we had like the next band in line bringing in all the new kids. So it's not just like. You're gaining by playing with us, but we're gaining by having you and like your younger fans in the room.
Yep.
Because again, you're setting up the next generation, whether it be the next generation of bands playing or the next generation of showgoers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ecosystem is extremely important to the music scene.
That was us for a little bit, and then I think we lost a lot of. I think like Crisis in general lost a lot of momentum, and then Cover One Eye came in,
dude, yeah.
and they had such a hell of a following. I was like, where are these kids coming from?
Yeah,
like, it was crazy. It really was.
And it's funny because a lot of the more senior bands at that point were trying to claim that like Wyndham was popping off like because of them. You know,
I remember that,
when realistically, like, they didn't play a show without Cover One Eye because they knew where the draw was going to come from. You know, and even those guys, man, you know, they're all of drinking age. Guys and girl are all of drinking age now, and you know,
everybody's growing up. It's so weird. It really is.
Who was in that band?
Cover One Eye. It was Trevor.
That's what I'm thinking. Trevor
Noah
was in that band.
All them. They were honestly super tight. Noah has like some of the best vocals I've ever heard. Honestly,
dude,
like
he's so amazing. He was actually on the Heathens album. Oh because you had done that. You did that part live with us once.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick. That was on top of was it on top of that part? It was. It was like the Matthews Pub.
Yep. That show was so nice.
Yeah, it was wicked fun.
That day was so nice.
Yeah, it was a really good day.
Yeah.
For the pandemic and everything.
I know. Can you pull your mic just a little bit closer?
Yep.
You don't have to scoot forward. Just pull it towards you.
Right there.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
And Max, you've been in... Did you grow up in Maine?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in South Portland.
Oh, okay. So I feel like you kind of came out of nowhere. As far as like my radar goes, you know, I had like no idea who you were, and then you were like playing music with all my friends.
Nobody knew who I was. I didn't know anybody either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why was that?
I think I didn't really go to local shows. You know what I mean? Yeah. I went to like Civic Center, State Theater, that shit, but I wasn't going to like the port cities and the Genos, and because I fucking couldn't get in to any of them. So I just didn't really know anybody until I met Jesse Harbison.
Yeah.
And then through him met Brandon, and like literally, if I didn't meet Jesse, I wouldn't know any of you or anybody that I know in the scene.
Yeah.
It's literally all up to him.
Jesse's definitely a staple in our community, you know, because that story is not just for you. That story is for so many people.
Yeah.
You know, he brings people in and out, and you know, or people that are like already in. Jesse like Cover One Eye, for example. You know, Jesse and I took a huge liking to that band, and you know, they were kind of awkward. They were super young. They could have easily been like entirely overlooked had it not been for the influence of people like Jesse. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think people say it enough, but he's definitely super, super important.
He's the fucking man. Yeah. And like to me, like I was into metal and shit, but like I said, like I was only going to big shows, and so like meeting Jesse, like this big tattooed motherfucker who like he took me to the Roseview show, the Hawthorne Heights one, and like it just opened me to this whole new world of like all these. Like the hardcore scene, like in New England, like everyone knows everyone. It's like a whole fucking family. And like to a 17-year-old kid, I was like, holy shit, this is dope.
So had you been doing any sort of like harsh vocals or anything up to that point?
No. It was like, you know, in the fucking shower and like when I would drive in my car alone. But I before Katahdin, I had never on stage like with a microphone in front of anybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
What were you doing? So before you were, you know, met up with Jesse or anything? I mean, I know you're like going to state shows, but were you writing? Were you thinking about wanting to play music at any point?
I was born in like a really musical family, and growing up, like my brother was a huge like metalhead, and he got me into that entire world. And when I was 14, he like made me get a drum kit. Like nice. I got to ask for one thing for Christmas, and he was like, "Ask for a drum kit or I'll kill you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I got that, and I like got really into it. And then he was in this like death metal band from Biddeford, and I was 14. They needed a drummer, and they were all like 22-year-old like stoner kids, and they were like, "Oh, let's get Sam's brother." And my mom was like, "No, fuck that, fuck everything about that." So I had to just do shit by myself. Like that's what I was doing, like SoundCloud music and shit like that, because my mom didn't want me as a part of any of that. So yeah, I was writing, I guess, but not like the shit that I'm writing right now. I was writing little fucking poppy bullshit.
Yeah. When I heard of you the first time, I think Jesse showed me your raps, and they were really good. Like I was like, where is this kid coming from with rapping and stuff? And then you got the screams and everything else, and then I met you and saw like that you're literally the house is filled with instruments. You walk in, piano, and it's wicked cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, family has definitely been an influence on me musically too, you know, and my kids for sure. I mean, you know, I mean, and
been going to shows since he could walk.
Yeah, 100%. Like we'd play shows at like Club Texas, and he'd be stage diving and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, and like because he's been around so long, like everybody knows him.
Yeah,
you know, and so like when he wants to mosh, they give him a little bit of space, a little mosh, and they kind of, you know, all right, get out of the way, you know, and he's not so much into it anymore. now that he's kind of like grown up and realized that he can have interests that aren't influenced by me.
Yeah, true.
He's a straight up fuckboy now.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, for sure. Like the way this kid dresses blows my mind. Like
awesome.
like he's like a 4-foot version of like fucking Logan Paul, dude.
That's
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. The attitude and everything, man.
Dude.
But he's still a champ though. He he fucking does all like the TikTok dances and wears like all Champion and like Adidas and shit now. Like,
Hey, but for real, when I remember that Stanford show, and I remember seeing him there.
Yeah.
And like I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, yo, this kid's fucking dope.
yeah,
dude, you should have seen him when he was smaller, dude. He was like literally 3 years old. And he was just running around the show. He was owning the place. He was just like, this is my home.
Yeah.
One of the best center was, for sure. Everybody knew him.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like there's pictures of him because I have 3 kids now, and my middle child's not into it at all. He's much quieter. He's much more reserved. My daughter's only 1. She doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. But there's pictures of Carter being like, before he could go to shows, like 2 years old with like a little train toy. And he put his foot on it and he would grab just anything, bottle of nail polish, anything. And he would just like put his foot on something and scream at, whatever
dude,
he could
I remember that photo, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that photo.
That's
that was
dope as
sick.
fuck.
Yeah, it's super cool. So like, I hope that he's, stays interested in music, whatever kind of music it is. Like, I'll turn him in the next Bieber if I can. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, and my family is a whole music community. Like, if he decides he wants to do it, like he's got all the support in the world.
Dude, he would be unstoppable.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
The kid would have connects for days.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously.
Everybody.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even like Kevin. Kevin's known him since he was born. Most people have. Most people in the music scene that that have been around as long as Carter's been around, like they know him. It's wicked cool.
That is insane to think about too. He's known some of the coolest musicians just from the get go.
Yeah.
Like, I've known him my whole life.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like I have pictures of like him in the studio, like with us, like hanging out with Kevin.
That's sick.
And shit like that. Yeah, it's awesome. Who did and you guys just released a second music video not too long ago. Obviously, the audio was recorded by somebody who was working on your current stuff.
So we did Separation with Duncan.
Yep.
Cook, and then when we did To the Darkest Place, we ventured out a little bit. We wanted to do something a little bit different, and so we went to Mark Waller, who Brandon knew through Roseview.
Yeah, and we were gonna do like he did pre-production and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like the pre-demos and stuff.
Yep.
And yeah.
I went out and lived in LA for a little bit.
I remember that. Yeah.
I met this dude named Zach, and he has worked on some crazy fucking records, and he was like, yo, I want to do your shit. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So we were going to go to him, and then just like the timing didn't work out.
Yeah.
And so we were like, fuck, like what do we do? Like we had this
super busy dude over there. He has a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we had this unmixed, unmastered song, and we were like, fuck. And then we hit up Duncan because he's the fucking man, and he turned that song into a beast. And so we're just going back right to him for everything.
That's awesome.
The next,
Yeah, Duncan and I, again, have obviously known each other a long time. He was the primary member, I guess, of the first band that I was in Maine. Not the first band, second band, I guess I was in Maine. And he's definitely helped me write other things. And we've even done weird stuff like me, him, and Andy Beal, the guitar player for my current band.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. He does sound at Wyndham most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Me, him, and Andy. Somebody asked me if I knew anyone that would do like a 2-hour cover set, and I was like, of course, immediately without thinking, was like, yes. Like whether or not I knew anyone, I had no idea. And then he's like, cool, I'll pay you X, and it was like more than I've ever made playing any show by like 70 times.
Literally.
Yeah, it was a ton of money. And I was like, yeah, man, we'll do it. And it was like 3 months away. A month goes by. I'm like, what am I going to do? The guy hits me up again. Hey, just want to confirm. Yeah, man, we'll do it. Absolutely. Another month goes by. I was like, hey, man, 30 days out. You good? I'm like, yeah, man, we're still good.
Yeah.
And like a week before, I was like, Andy, I committed to this. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And he's like, well, I can play all those songs, but like, I'm not a great singer. Like, neither am I. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I reached out to Duncan, and I was like, dude, I have to be able to play like all of these songs, and like at this point it was like 3 days away, and I was like, I can't sing any of them. I can play most of them, Andy will play drums. He's like, I can play all of those songs. I can sing all those songs. I can play, acoustic, all of those songs.
Coming in clutch.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man.
Yeah, and dude, he killed it. Like I played bass, Andy played drums, Duncan sang and played guitar, and I gave Duncan most of the money because
no shit
because of he's the one that pulled it all together.
Yeah.
But people were coming up to us like, "Oh my god, you guys are so amazing! How long have you been playing music together?" And we were like,
3 days?
2.5 hours. What are you talking about? It was he's an exceptional human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about like one of the best engineers in like New England, I think. Like talking to like there's some top dogs, and he is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like I've been in a band with him, and I've grown up watching him in other bands, and I literally I strive to be like the band he was in when I was growing up, and then he ended up singing, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best for sure.
Yeah, he's also like one of the pioneers, at least in this area, for like less expensive. To put out albums that he puts out now. 5 years ago, you would have had to have had like 5 times the equipment.
Absolutely.
And he's just kind of like, hold my beer.
Yep, absolutely.
Watch this. Watch what I can do for a fifth of the cost, and it sound just as fucking mean.
He fucking grinds on everything he picks up.
Yeah.
He will start something and he won't stop until he's the fucking best at it.
Oh, for sure.
No matter what it
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely dedicated to anything he pursues. He doesn't half-ass anything.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Being on tour with him was super easy. I'm not going to lie. That kid carried a lot of the weight when it came to well, the thing is, if you want to get something done right, you got to do it yourself sometimes. And he was about it. He was just like, nah, let me just do it. And I would be like, you know what? I know you're going to do it right, so I'm just going to let you do it.
Yeah, he was, that one time.
I'd be the grunt lifter. I'll lift up the cabs and stuff, bring it in, but I'm like, yo, I don't know if I have good tone right now. You got to help me out, brother.
I remember when I saw Rosu at the Hawthorne Heights thing, and I was working your guys' merch with Jesse, and I remember literally as soon as you guys played the last note to Tunnel Vision, he set the mic down, went right back to the merch table, wiped some sweat off, pulled out the square, bro. He was ringing people out. I was like, shit, dude. Motherfucker grinds.
Business. He means business. He does.
For sure. Man, time definitely flies. I mean, again, you can think back to the first Falling Skyward album, he mixed, mastered, produced, that whole thing, and it sounded good.
We are who we are, dude. I still had the bracelets where my brother does somewhere, the Get Naked or something like that. That was all over my high school, honestly.
Yeah.
Literally, that was sick.
Yeah, we were definitely obsessed with Hunter Moore.
It was the style.
Is anyone up? Yeah, which turned out to not be the coolest thing in the world. But at the time, yeah, it was definitely marketable. But now it's he went from putting out decent sounding albums to being a multi-genre fucking legit engineer. How long have you been straight edge?
Celebrated a year in October, so year and some change.
Yeah,
a couple months,
14, 15 months.
Yep, something like that.
Damn. Has that been hard? I mean, were you did you drink a lot before?
Yeah, I mean, I have a slight advantage, not being 19. I couldn't buy shit for myself anyway,
right?
Even if I wanted to, but I drank a lot, and I did a lot of really bad shit to my body, with ill intent.
Yeah,
and got out of it. I count my blessings every night. I'm not a godly man, but I've prayed sometimes after some of the shit that I've done.
No doubt.
So it's hard because everyone gets the urge to go back to that shit. You know what I mean? Even sitting here right now, you're smoking.
Yeah,
the
temptation's real.
Yeah, you guys aren't gonna fucking make me break edge, but even just seeing it, I'm damn, that'd be fire right now.
Yeah,
but I don't think
I can stop. I can put all this shit away.
Dude,
okay.
You're good.
Oh yeah. Friggin', I feel you're so respectful over the years, the 2 years, because you were I remember a few years ago, you were you would take I think I smoked with you once.
Yeah.
Ever, and it was when we first met, and it was very briefly. It wasn't because I smoke every day, it's nothing
yeah.
But yeah, and I think I've only drank with you
once or twice at a show. Yeah. I think I was really bad until I was 17, 18, and then there were a couple months where I wasn't I wasn't like an alcoholic. I would have like fucking a couple beers, but I wasn't like straight edge or anything either. I was kind of right in that. I was like headed towards it, and then I got to the point where I was like, this shit is doing terrible things to my body, and it also like my bank account.
Yeah.
So I just
the
just
bank
like,
account
it's not,
for sure.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it anymore. For me personally. Like,
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, like I'm not one of those straight edge people that's like, yo, why the fuck do you smoke? Like, you idiot. You know what I mean? But like, it's just not for me. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple straight. It's one. It's one of those things. If it's not part of your culture, you're not gonna like experience it.
Yeah.
I hang out at bars most of the time, and there's not really a lot of straight edge people there.
No.
And I've been in bands for a long time, and straight edge is like a big part of like the strict hardcore community. But I honestly don't know that many people that are legitimately straight edge. One of them, Brandon Dowdy, he's my age. He's almost 30, and he's literally never smoked, drank, like no drugs, anything ever his entire life. And I'm just like, I respect it for sure, but I also have the question of like you're someone who has and now does not, right? So you have the standard of comparison.
Yep.
But like what not necessarily bugs me, but like what I question about it is like, how do you know what you're missing? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, yo, stop being edgy and become an alcoholic, but I'm like, yo, how have you never had like a glass of wine at dinner?
Yeah.
Like it's such a compliment. And again, food and beverage is just so fucking huge for me. I eat out like fucking 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
I drink most of my waking hours, and it's like I don't understand how you can have a burger and not a beer.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a beer with every burger, but like
no, it's a part of the culture though. You're just like
you're
like I it is what it is, and I want it.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
I get that a lot too. Like I said, like being 19, and people sometimes like when you're under 21 and you claim straight edge, people call you like fake edge because they're like, oh, you don't know like what it's like to go out and just be able to buy it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give a fuck.
You can still see
I don't
like
care.
the when I'm a user, and I'm not gonna say like I don't abuse like alcohol sometime or like whatnot, smoking weed. I don't like do much, but like when you see the abuse on it, even if if the person doesn't think it's abuse, like I'm chugging this beer, I'm abusing it.
That's the other thing too.
But like seeing that is just like
I went through the like abusive stage when I was like 13. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I hit that shit way earlier than everyone in like my high school. And
Right.
that stuff. So like when kids in my grade were like 16, 17 and getting into that really experimental, like doing like more than just smoking weed. You know what I mean? Like everyone was like, you don't know what you're missing. And I was like, I already did it.
Yeah, I've been
You know
there,
what I
done
mean?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it didn't.
I feel that too. I feel
surprise
like
me
at a
anymore.
young age, I got into it, figured it all out, and when I hit 21, I don't even think I went to a bar on my 21st because I worked at the mill when I was 17.
Yeah.
Like I had my first bit. I don't know if I should say this. I had beer before I was 21.
You
obviously,
motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know. I just experienced it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not condoning, like, did I say that right? I'm not, like...
Condoning underage drinking?
Thank you, yeah. Like, I don't approve of it, but, like, I don't know.
Everyone does it.
If you can serve your
Everyone
country,
does
you
it.
should be able to drink a beer.
Oh,
At
I agree.
18,
I agree.
absolutely. I went to Canada. 18-year-olds are like, yeah, I'm in the army. I'm going to fucking drink a beer. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do remember, like, I remember before I claimed straight edge, I was going to go to college in Canada. And, like, I didn't end up going, but I was going to go to this college in Prince Edward Island. And I remember touring there when I was, like, 17, like campus touring. And seeing, like, all these kids my age, like, out at the bar. And I was like, this is fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I don't get to, like, experience it now, but, like...
Dude, when I went to
sick.
the UK, you want to hear... oh, my God. When I went to the UK, I went to King's Cross, which is, like, the center of London. That's where the tea goes, and that's where King's Cross is Harry Potter. That's where 9 3/4 is. When I went there, I came up, like, the escalator, and I saw 3 kids. Couldn't be 19, maybe 18, carrying a bottle in their hand because... public intoxication isn't illegal there, and you can drink publicly. So you can carry around a bottle around the streets and just drink.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a normal thing, and, like, Culture. Talk about a culture shock. That is being over there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing though. The crime rate is not as much over here. They look at us and they're like, it's a nightmare. You know, they're just like, how do you live over there? Like, because nobody's dying. You know, like when we went there, Rosie went there. We hired a driver, and this guy was like, yeah, I beat cancer, like nothing. And I was like, over there it costs thousands. Like the show Breaking Bad. Not even a thing in the UK because they have health insurance. The only reason that he started doing that drug shit is because he needed to save his son's life. And that's only a thing in America.
Yeah, for real.
People are dying because they can't afford health care.
Yo, Breaking Bad got it right, bro.
Yeah, they did.
Dude, I literally Googled it earlier, like today. I don't remember why. But to birth a child without insurance in the United States, dude, between 30 and 50 grand. If you don't have insurance. Thankfully, we do. You know, so otherwise I'd be
resources and everything. Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, I pay a ton. For insurance. You know, but I at 3 kids, dude, I'd be close to $100,000. Actually, it's 30 grand for a regular birth. Our third child was a C-section, which is it says like a minimum 50 grand. So I'd be fucking $120 in the hole over just a natural life occurrence.
Yeah, something that's just you can't stop.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I've heard of people traveling for surgeries. I'm not gonna lie. People travel to different countries for different surgeries and stuff.
My dad, dude, when he got LASIK, he went to Canada. To get it done.
Genius.
Yeah, and he paid like $450.
What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As a non-citizen, so dope, dude.
When I was touring in Canada, we were staying at one of the bands. It was Perfect Limbs. It was the lead singer's house and his dad. It was like, when I had to go to the hospital, I spent $12 on an ambulance.
Yeah.
That shit is like $3,500.
I can't get a taxi
here,
for $12 to go to the
anywhere
hospital. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
That's fucking wild.
There's some fucking McDonald's meals you can't get for $12, bro. Like, that's crazy that you can get a fucking ambulance.
Yeah, but if you go to McDonald's in the UK, you can get a beer.
Yep. Yeah,
that's true.
Full circle conversation right there, man.
Absolutely.
Sounds like we're all moving to the UK.
Literally.
Dude, I've like heavily considered it so many times, but I just like don't know what I would do for work. You know, like, is it different working there? You know, I'm sure like finance laws are different. Like,
yeah, so you do pay the tax for, like, you pay extra tax, obviously, to have the health insurance and whatnot. It's not much of a different living in the UK. When I visited there, like, the roads are so hectic, and they are so well adjusted to it. It's insane. They are the world's best drivers, and I'll give them that. They can fit a huge van in, like, the smallest spot, like, nothing. Like, no problem. I was having, like, anxiety watching him drive because, like, everything's stick in the UK. There is no automatic vehicles.
Did you guys have a trailer?
No, everything. The van was so tall. It was one of those transit looking things, and you could just like Tetris everything so nicely in the back, and it just like wedged it perfectly, so nothing was getting knocked over or anything. But freaking. The metric system, crazy roads, man. And they have to do the stick shift with the left hand and do it. I mean, they're born and raised on that and probably don't know anything else. But I was talking about automatic vehicles. I was like, do you guys have automatic vehicles around here? He's like, I think I've seen like a couple in my life. And I was
that's crazy.
Like,
no doubt.
Yeah, crazy. It really is. But yeah, if you go over there, it's like the size of Maine, it feels like. In the UK, honestly, it's like when we're at the bottom of it, and we're like, oh, we got to get to the top of it, you know, like. And I was just like, all right, and it was 5 hours, and they're like, we're here, and I was like, we're here, like to the top.
5 hours to go across.
Yeah, just to the north, south, and insane. It really was. We had a lot of Witherspoon. So what Witherspoon is? It's a chain restaurants. But there's a lot of old pubs in the UK. So, like, what they did is they just, like, they didn't build Witherspoons, I feel like. They just bought a lot of old pubs that, like, weren't a thing and then made a chain out of it. Like, so, like, dope. Yeah, it's just a huge chain of restaurants. And they serve beer. You can get a full-course meal, and you don't have to tip over there. Tipping is not a thing. Like, you pay $6, and you get, like, mashed potatoes, 3 sausages, 4 pieces of bacon, a huge beer, a latte, and they have latte machines like all the Witherspoons. Like when I went there, when I heard Witherspoons, we continued going to Witherspoons because it was just the place. Like,
That's lit.
It was lit. I don't know. I definitely want to move to the UK. Talking about this, I'm like, the people are so humble over there.
The bands are better.
Bands are so good. It's just like, I don't know. The culture is different.
Yeah.
Talking about culture, it's wicked different over there.
UK like hardcore scene is fucking crazy.
It really is,
bro.
dude. When I went there, I played a venue. I forgot what the venue was called, but the guy that ran it, he saw the Dancing Queen video with Roseview, and he didn't even know any of the songs. He could care less. But he saw the Dancing Queen video, and he, like, after our set, I didn't know he knew about it. He threw on Dancing Queen in my head, shit right over to him. I was like, holy fuck.
That's so funny.
And he was like, my boy. But he showed me his band, and they slapped so hard. Like, one of my the bus driver, Tom, he was driving us around. I showed him Hollowell because he knew a Roseview. He was obviously like freaking.
Oh yeah, you told me
like,
about that. You told me about that.
Yeah, listening to Roseview, and I was just like, you don't even know, bro. Like Hollowell, like we slap, and obviously like our first EP wasn't like the
Production
best.
wise,
Production wasn't the best. I mean, but it still slapped at that
good.
time, honestly. And I was just like, all right. So I showed him it, and he was like, this is sick. And he was just like, make sure to show me new stuff. And I was
That's
like,
dope.
oh, we'll do.
When we go back to the UK after COVID.
Yeah. No, absolutely. We'll definitely be able to stay at some places too, honestly. Got some homies there.
Dope.
I do remember when I was in Mara, we weren't planning to do a European tour, but a band from the UK hit us up, and it was a meme. I went up in a meme, and he like found me because of the meme. And he's like, "Dude, we're doppelgangers." And I was like, "Oh, that's super weird."
I feel like I remember that going down.
Yeah, and it was a fucking nasty band. I can't remember the name of it, which sucks. But Lucas, our drummer, was like 16. I think I was 20. Lucas was like 16 at the time, and I was telling him like how young he was, and he was like, "That's fine. We'll just grab him a couple crates." And I was like, "What the fuck is a crate?" And it was like I guess a 30 rack of beer, and not that that's like the most amazing story, but it is just funny, like culturally, like how like it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Different words. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a quid, like 30 quid. I'm like, what is a quid? They're like bucks.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, all right, cool. Because they were like, what do you call it? And I was like, bucks. $1, $2. And they're like, we call it quid.
Just so you know, Americans don't use that term. New Englanders do.
Yep, you're right. You're very right. Yeah. Honestly, praise. I love being a New Englander, honestly. I've been down south, and I'm like, talk about culture shock, too. Oh, my gosh, I could talk about it for days. I go down south, and I'm just like, going down south, I come back up here, and I'm just like, the weather. Yeah. So, like, I love being in the cold, honestly.
Yeah, when I went to live in LA, I remember I got on the plane in Portland. Yeah. And it was 52, and then I stepped off the plane at LAX, and it was 103. And I was like, holy shit. Sweating. I'd never been out to the West Coast before, and I was like, whoa, my fucking God. Yeah. And then I lived, like, after LA, I lived in Arizona for a little bit, for like a week or two. And that shit was fucked, bro. It was like 105 degrees at like 11 p.m.
And like, people are wearing like sweatshirts out there, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I'll see videos of people skating with a sweatshirt. I'm like, so it's 103 degrees and he's wearing a sweatshirt and skate. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. The person I was living with, Sydney from the band Dollskin, is who I was out there with. And she would like huddle up in a blanket at night. And I was like fucking freaking out. I was like fanning myself. I was like, this shit sucks, bro. And she's like, oh, it's cold. It was like 70 degrees and she was like all huddled up. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Very well adjusted.
Yeah.
I'm definitely from Maine. No doubt.
Yeah. But they could say the same shit about us. It's 30 degrees, we're out in shorts and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same shit. It goes both ways.
My friend Joey came up from Florida like 2 years ago. He came up in October. He came up for my birthday. And he got on the plane just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt or some shit. He got off the plane and I was like at baggage claim, like, or right outside of baggage claim waiting for him. And the doors opened up and you saw him go, like physically go like, whoa, like, oh, it's fucking cold. Because again, it was probably like 85 when he left Florida, and it's like 55 when he fucking lands. And he
brought the wrong clothes.
Yeah, he gets in the car. He's like, dude, I'm fucking freezing. I was like, did you bring a sweatshirt and pants? He's like, the fuck are those? You know?
Like, we don't wear those.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh, I was doing it was the Sharp Tooth tour. That was a sick tour with Pure Noise. They just got signed to Pure Noise, so like the tour had Pure Noise all over it, and I was like, oh, that's fucking sick. So we were down south, and like, dude, we came back up and it was snowing, and it was like 105 degrees down there in Jacksonville, Florida, where it's humid as all hell, and I'm sweating. It's insane.
Yeah, last December I was in Tampa for like a week, and we were eating dinner like outside every night. And I was wearing, I wouldn't, I wear a suit to work, and like I wouldn't wear my jacket, and I like roll up my sleeves, and all the people that were like native to Florida, or that like lived there at the time when we went down, were just like cold, like they didn't want to be eating dinner outside, but because they're hosting like New England dealerships, they're like, we're gonna eat outside. And like all the malls and stuff are outside too, like in the Tampa area, like by the international airport down there. And it's touring in the winter was always like super tough because you never knew like how to pack.
Literally, though.
Yeah.
You're like,
half of it is on the upper, half of it's on the lower, and you're
and
just
it's
like, holy
like
fuck.
that. You gotta get style too. You gotta, because you have to pack for the show clothes, and then you gotta pack for like the afterwards clothes, like the after show clothes and stuff. Because, oh my god, dude, I would like the first couple of tours I would go on, I would like just wear all my clothes and play with them on, and then like put them in my luggage, and then 4 or 5 days into tour, you notice how all your clothes are like smelly and they just soaked, and it's just like I literally have nothing clean right now. So yeah, like definitely on tour, especially with those tours where it's winter up here, and during winter it's like 100 degrees down south. Like you just have to like definitely pick your styles wisely, for sure.
Yeah, I packed like 3 hoodies when I went to LA because I was like, fuck it, like I wear hoodies all the time.
Yeah.
And then like I got there, and like a week into the trip, I was like, what the fuck? I don't need these, bro.
That is crazy.
Portland, it's funny that you say that you like being in cold weather, because I certainly do not. And I was just having a conversation the other day that like Portland is such a perfect place. Like if there was no snow, I don't think there'd be any reason to live like anywhere else in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
But there is, and I can't fucking stand it.
I'm honestly a snowboarder. So
Really?
it's just like I love snowboarding, and like I think that's why I love the snow so much. Like every year I'm just like stoked to go snowboarding. I'm just like, it's time. I haven't gone once this year, by the way. That sucks.
I don't like the cold, but like Maine summers make up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I'll go every single winter, like for the last like 3 years, and winter comes around and I'm like, I'm fucking moving.
Yeah.
Like I hate this place. But then like once it gets to spring, you're like, yo, this is fucking dope. Like it's like you said, like in summer in Portland, like the Portland area, there's nowhere I would.
It evens it out though.
Like
It's
clean,
like perfect
clean,
in
like
the summertime.
75 degrees, like slight breeze, like fucking fire. Like that shit is
I
so
think
dope.
it compensates. Like truly, like honestly, like the hell winters, but like the perfect summers. It's just like evens it out perfect.
Like you're saying like you're a snowboarder. Like for me, like I'm a biker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I definitely get a lot less time on my bike than somebody does on their snowboard. You know.
I'm trying to do that next year. I'm trying to. Get
Oh really?
Yeah. I just
BMX?
like. Oh no.
no,
Just biking.
Riding motorcycles.
Well, yeah, I mean motorcycle.
Yeah.
I was talking like bike.
You're like,
I'm so my fucking baby. I'm like, yo.
That's so funny. No, yeah, I like see Kevin. I see Kevin doing it, and he's the dad of the music scene, and he fucking rips on the motorcycle, and he fucking kills it at mixing, and I'm like, I strive.
Yeah. It's a good ass life.
Yeah, seriously.
From the outside, I mean, I don't know what he's actually going through, but it looks like a good ass life.
Man.
He literally like, that's funny because I said something about Sons of Anarchy earlier, and like looking at Kevin, like that motherfucker could have been
he could have been in the cast
show.
It would have blended in.
Oh yeah,
for real.
Like,
he did a Halloween as Opie one year.
He looks just like that.
Yeah, he does.
That's crazy. I was just thinking that, like, as soon as I said it, I was like, yo, he kind of looks like Opie.
Oh yeah, he for sure does.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so sick.
Yeah, same hair, beard,
But then at the same time, like, fucking nicest dude in the world.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Dude, I need my fix of Too Late to Hero for sure. I feel like I haven't had that in so long, dude. Talk about the tightest band, and you like, it's like a comedy show at the same time. Like, genuinely, sure. Jared is one of the most smartest, like, most funny dudes I've ever met in my entire life. And, like, at a show, I just love the in-between sets because they're like, let's go. And Jared's, like, telling a joke or something, total dad joke. And he's like, all right. And talk about tight vocals, too. Like, his range. Dude. Oh, my
crazy.
God, dude.
I've seen them one time, and it was at your guys' release show. Aura,
really? Oh, no
Aura.
shit. Yeah.
They played that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I saw them there.
Yep.
That band's fucking awesome.
Yep. Kevin's helped a lot in my career, honestly, just in general. Like, me being a musician, he kind of pointed me in the right direction. I remember there was a Capsize show at the Wyndham Vet Center, and we're like, dude, we want to tour with them. We want to, like, do that, like, before they broke up and all that. This is when they were thriving. And I think Great American Ghost played it. And Great American Ghost wasn't huge at this point either. They were still playing, like, local shows and stuff. So it was Capsize and Great American Ghost. And we, like, talked to the bassist of Capsize. And we're like, dude, how do we tour with you guys? Like, we showed him our recordings. And he's like, these are good, but you need a marketable name. You need a representation of your band. Like, you need somebody that stands out. You know, nobody local is going to stand out. You need somebody to really. And, like, I think Too Late the Hero, I think Kevin was there or something. Or maybe it was another show. But we knew Kevin was recording big bands. Like, he was doing the best production around. And I think he's the one that told me this, but there's just, like, no shortcuts to success.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally. And, like, he embedded that in my head, and I was just like, and he's right. You gotta take the stairs. You can't take the elevator. You gotta take the stairs for sure. But it's fucking. He's right. Fucking right. But
what band were you in at that point?
I think I was in Crisis. It was Crisis at that point. Like, we didn't rebrand as Roseview, and we won't really. We were a local band trying to take it to the next step at that point. Like, we were done being a local band. We're like, we're done playing these same venues all the time. Like, we really want to play bigger bills and, like, actually do something with it. So we knew Capsize was just, they're from California. Yeah. And they're in Maine. So we're just like, how are you here? And they were just like, this is how we're here. You got to do it. And Kevin was the next step, and we asked him, and he was just like, yeah, no shortcuts. You gotta take the time and the grind.
Yeah. And I was so, like, beyond excited because he asked us if he could do Separation, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, he would love to work with us, honestly. He's always down.
Because I remember he came, we played some show at Empire, in Portland, yeah. We played that show at Empire with like the American Classic and It Lives at Breeze. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. That was so fucking funny. But we played that show, and I remember Kevin came, and he, like, came up and talked to me after.
I do remember.
And remember,
it took me a second.
He was
to
like,
remember the
he
show.
was like, yo, I came. He was like, I came for the American Classic, like, straight up, because that's his boys and shit.
Yeah.
But he was like, yo, you guys, like, pop the fuck off. Like, when you guys make more music, like, hit me up. And so, like, when we did Separation, we were like, yo, like, please. And he fucking jumped on it, and then he did.
Did he master? He mastered the Separation.
He did
track,
Separation.
Right?
He mastered To the Darkest Place, and he's probably gonna master everything that we do in the next week.
Absolutely, yeah. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's the fucking man.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. On that note, I mean, we do have this music video pulled up here for The Darkest Place.
Okay.
I would like to jam this real quick.
I'm down. Square Up Production.
Shout out Eric.
The production in this was
Where was this?
This one.
Oh, really? Oh, no shit.
That Fender endorsement. That's
we have been for like 2 years.
Shout out Fender.
I touched my hair like 2 times.
That happens. It does. Ricky Bobby moment. Yeah. This is a fun day, dude. The guy that recorded this, he had a camera that didn't even come out yet. He was like, "This is gonna
Really?
be." Yeah, it was the red.
Oh yeah, dude, that thing's like $6,000.
Dude, we shot this video.
Yeah.
We shot this video 3 months before it came out.
Really?
Some shit like that. I was like, yo, a couple more.
They were looking for like, the reason I know how much it is because they were looking for field testers for that camera.
He was one of them.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. And I was like, I was kind of interested until I saw the price tag.
No.
Plus, just to like set it up and have it sit there. You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. It will eventually be all of the Lumix cameras that I'll have, and then just the one wide-angle GoPro. But I'll get rid of the other GoPros. But I love that Lumix, dude. Oof.
And I can't wait to play shows.
Tell me about it.
Oh my god, dude.
I honestly like sometimes hate coming into this room because I see like all this fucking gear,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just been sitting in here.
It's dude.
Every time we fucking practice, at the end of every practice, because we practice right in my basement, and like same shit, like all of our gear is in there.
Yeah.
And I keep waiting for the night we practice, and we're like, all right, let's pack it up.
Right.
Like show
I'm gonna
on
cry.
Tuesday. Or, you know what I mean?
Literally cry.
You know what I'm talking about?
Because
Because
this is
like,
it, boys.
We would like practice on a Friday and then like have a show the next day. And we'd
dude,
be like,
I
all
don't
right,
even
pack it
care if I
up.
play in front of 3 people. I don't like if I just like get that enjoyment. I know that sounds so lame, but just like, dude.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing
It's my
about
pride
it.
and joy.
Not even just going or playing shows. Like I just like haven't even been in a venue
Just the homies.
in a
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Dude,
inside of a place with a stage.
If there's no like venues that are open by the time it's warm enough to be outside for 5 hours in a t-shirt, I'm just gonna pop the garage door and fucking throw shows out of here.
Honestly,
because dude, my yard's pretty fucking big.
This yard is huge,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, you could
like
distance.
straight up. Like if you got the town to be all right on that and just be like get a capacity, like be like only like 200.
I wouldn't even tell them. I would just fucking
like,
go for it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would be down. I feel like that's how Mako. Dude,
Yeah.
Mako back in the day, he's just a fucking throw shows and just fucking.
And realistically,
cops would
those
come
shows
and-
never got shut down for like unreasonable reasons.
Yeah, no.
They got shut down when fires started happening.
Exactly.
That's when the cops would show up. As long as we keep most of our dicks in our pants and don't light anything on fire.
I remember there was a show and a cop came and he was like, "Look, there's way too many people here for me to give like citations or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it is like to everybody. So just like don't like start a fire, burn down any houses, don't cause any damage, don't kill anybody."
We had a rolled over car and a couch that was incinerated, and they were like, "Guys, keep it down."
Sabatis police. They're
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Those were so fun.
Those are the best parties, man. Talk about like experiencing things and then
Yeah.
like, dude, Mako is the man. I remember partying with that kid and like talk about the best host too. I would get like wasted, pass out on his couch, wake up, he would have pancakes in my face, bro. I'm like, oh my god. He's like, here you go, brother.
Yeah, he's another breed for sure.
He is. He's
a
one of the nicest dudes
he's a
I
manimal.
know. Yeah.
Let me just say, I think it's fucking crazy. I've been thinking this the whole time, like not to like date anybody, but I think it's so funny that all this shit that you guys are talking about, I was like in 6th grade, like making a fucking.
I know. I
volcano.
feel
You guys are doing all this shit, and I was like waking up at 7 going to school.
No, you're the
All
fresh
right.
breed, dude.
Having
That's what
my
it
lunch and
is.
shit.
Yeah, no, that's sick though. Honestly, being in a band with you is like it's tight. Like, there's some things where like music conflict happens with like I'll hear his riffs and I'll be like, don't like it, and then 3 days in I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, for real. For real, the amount of times that I've written something and Brant's been like
Separation. I heard Separation. And I was like, it's a straight line all the way through, brother. Like, I was like,
oh, yo, I still have that paper.
dude, yeah.
Yo, when we wrote Separation when Brandon was still the vocalist and I was on guitar, and I wrote it, and Brandon took this little piece of paper, like a little scrap paper and a Sharpie, and he was like, all right, play the song. So we did, like, front to back, and then while we were playing it, he was writing, like, this fucking line graph of, like, peaks of the song and, like, the climax, and, like, and then at the end, he was like, you see this line? It's gotta be up here, over here. And then, like, was so on, like, I became the vocalist, whatever, months and months later. A couple months ago, I found the paper in my basement.
Oh,
and
really?
we have, like, one of our walls is, like, full of, like, show posters and, like, merch and, like, old shit, and I hung it up there.
That's
and,
awesome.
Like,
And hearing
we think of it
Separation
all the
now, I'm
time.
just like, dude, it's so sick. Honestly, honestly, it's so sick. It slaps. Like, I wasn't even in the band at the time because, like, just a Roseview thing. It was like, dude, I was so busy with Roseview. I was just like, I can't do it. And, like, it was slowing them down. They're like, what if we get show off the same day? And I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And they were just like, all right, well, we got to, like, do something about this. And we were like, all right. So I did the Roseview thing for a little bit. And then, like, I remember not feeling Roseview at the time. I was just like, coming back from Europe, the COVID thing happened. And it's nothing like that happened. It was just like, music interest. It was strictly music interest.
For sure.
It was just like, because Roseview was just getting a little lighter. Not saying it was bad music at all, because if anything, it was still my cup of tea. Like, literally some of the best, like, the unreleased Roseview stuff right now, if it gets released today, it would become big, I feel like. But me personally, I would rather headbang.
Sure.
Slap a little bit harder. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, Roseview's sick, but
And we were trying to do that when I first started Hollowell. Like we wanted to do something a little bit more like melodic counterparty.
Yeah.
And then I feel like after so many lineup changes, like once I like really took on vocals, I was like, fuck everything about that. Like, I just want to write ignorant shit.
Yeah.
Like, or not even that. I was just like, let's just write whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And that's when we dropped the tuning, like, 8 steps and like
just fucking
one.
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you listen to the Hollow LP and then you listen to like the 2 songs that we put out.
I was listening to
and
that
it's just
today,
fucked.
and dude, just like the bass tone, like love those dudes that produced it too. Love them. They're like brothers too. Fucking all those dudes. I just like, you can see the step up though.
Yeah.
Like, from like, they still do a really good job, and I think it was just the time and place too. He's in a better studio now too.
Yeah.
So like, he's
Even putting the production completely aside, just the songs, like, in general, on our part, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that was a big thing. We came to them with Skeletons, and they were like just starting out with music production, so they were just like, well, we're going to record that, and that's what it is. And now, like, looking back, we should have brought more to the table for them to work with.
Sure, yeah.
Because
we like pulled up to the studio just with the raw
so
shit
true.
that we wrote in our
We were
basement.
like-
We were like, all right, we got these 5 songs that
and we
wrote
expected
in, like,
so
2
much
hours.
from it. Because we heard Brandon's band, Anari, and he was like, we did this production. But they also are insane musicians. Like, they're like, wow, this guitar is doing this guitar is doing and we're like, dun, 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 dun,
I know, for real.
like, I don't know. It's just simplicity compared to like very technical music. It fills out, and then we expected to have that fullness of that technical stuff because that's what he showed us, and we were like, bring him hardcore music, and then it was just like, all right,
it's different music.
It literally is.
You know Brandon Benson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the first Hollowell EP, and Dude, talking about Anari, name dropping that shit. They're like one of the best unknown like bands out there. I feel like, dude, they're
so amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Super like, so like they need to be noticed because that kid is like, he could easily work for like movies doing like sound production of like weird like Goblin Lord of the Rings type shit.
Yo, yeah,
talk about his
crazy.
pipes.
Yeah. I remember when they asked me to fill in on drums one time for one of their shows because like their drummer couldn't make it, and I like was shitting bricks because I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I cannot play this shit.
Dude, I remember when they asked me to do that.
I was at the bar at Bungalow.
And they're like, can you play this?
And Benson, because Benson was the sound guy at Bungalow, and he like just came to me and he was like, hey man, we got a show next week. No drummer. Like, you play drums, and I was like, oh.
It's like literally playing rock band, and you're like chilling on medium and going to hard sometimes, and then the expert songs. He's like, you want to play expert for a whole set? It's like
that's the thing. I can rip hardcore drums, but when you get
you're solid as all hell,
when you get
dude.
into the fucking like 9/5 time signature, like the shit that Anari does, like
the gent like, type shit. You're just I can't do gent music, dude. That technical shit, like insane. Insane. I love drums too. I couldn't imagine.
It's terrifying.
Did you end up doing it?
No, the show got canceled.
Oh.
I went home. They sent me the set list, and I learned all the songs like to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was in my basement on my drum kit for probably like
I could see that, dude.
5-6 hours a day.
Because it's ill music. Like you hear it and you're like, yes.
I would sit down for 5 or 6 hours a day. My hands would bust open like blisters, and I would glue them with Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to do this. I wanted, like, as scared as I wanted to do it. And then the show got canceled like 2 days before. Benson was like, yeah, it's not happening. I was like, oh.
Didn't he do some of Heathen stuff? Or he did like a pre-production of it or something?
He did an alternative mix.
He like remixed one of them, because he wanted to do what we're working on with Gerard right now. And as long as like everyone else in the band has known him, they were still like kind of skeptical. And he's like, "Well, just send me stems. Like I'll mix one, and you can make a decision based off that."
It was really good.
That was what he showed us at like Hollowell as a reference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he showed us your shit. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, and that's why I was so like hell yeah, because I heard that the stems were really nice, and I was just like, damn, because I heard the original copy of it, and then I was like, this is still very nice production, like this is very good. And then he showed me his, and it slapped a little bit harder for sure.
But that's what he showed us to like get us to go to him. He was like, yo, look at this shit, and we were like, oh fuck, it's tight as fuck.
Yeah, he is really good. I wish that he did have the opportunity to do more bands, because that's the kind of thing that just like compounds. The more bands you do, the more bands you will do.
Yep.
And if he had the opportunity to do more, he'd be better than he is now even.
Oh, absolutely. Like at the level that he was in the, like what you were saying earlier, the circumstances, the gear that you have, he was working on like minimal gear, and I feel like he was still like making like amazing production. And that's why we went to him, because it was just like, we didn't spend an arm and a leg either.
Right.
It was just like we were kids. We were like, let's get some sick production for cheap.
Yeah. We
weren't trying to go to the Halo or anything like that at this time. And so we went through them, and it was wicked dope. And we got, for what we paid for, I think we got for what we paid for it, or even a little bit more with the production and everything.
Yeah.
Looking back, there's still people that I've met that are like, that was my favorite EP of the year. Like, I think who was it? Was it Anthony that said that? He was like, that was like my favorite EP. And I was like, dude, that's sick to hear, honestly.
Funny. Yeah, people say that shit to me all the time. Are you guys going to play Hollowell?
I don't listen to it.
I can't listen to it.
I forced myself to listen to it today, because vocally I was prepped, but I just felt like some things changed along the way, and it just didn't sound how I pictured it, I should say. And like looking back, I'm just like, I could have done this differently or whatever. I was just felt like I was a brand new vocalist going into production, and I was like, I'm gonna literally just belt as hard as I can, and this is what's gonna happen, And he was, honestly, Brandon Benson had only done a couple bands at that time, I think, and he was just like, for a vocalist. He would tell me when I did awful, but I feel like we were both babies to our own things. So he was like, "That's sick. Do you think it's sick? I think that's tight. Let's go." You know, like we didn't push the boundaries. It was more like very standard. But like what we were saying earlier, we didn't bring a lot to the table. No. We didn't know what we wanted.
I remember because this was when we recorded the Holloway EP. That was before I was straight edge too. And I remember me and you did all the vocals on it. Like, I did some backups. You did. Obviously, you were the vocalist. And, like, I remember we would just be down in the studio where we recorded it, like, stoned as fuck. And Benson would be like, "You got to breathe in your diaphragm." And me and Brandon were just like, what the fuck is a diaphragm, bro? Like, we had no fucking clue. And we were just, like, ripping jewels and, like, just sitting there just like, what are you even talking about? Because we literally were just kids. And we
literally
shit about
smoking a little weed. I was just like, you guys weren't smoking, but me and Jake were like ripping, doing production. I was like, it helps my vocals, but whatever. Yeah. Those were good times, I feel like, honestly. Like, that was a time in my life where I was like trying to like get back the local scene feeling, because Rosie was just doing like bills that would come through Portland or whatever, you know. But yeah, local shows are almost better, like in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll hear like going to big shows, you don't get that one-on-one connection. With the Vet Center, you're like looking at people and you're like, dude, I saw you in the crowd going ham, and afterwards you're like, thank you for doing that, because nobody does that. But at a big show, I'm just like, they're like, you killed it, and I was like, I couldn't see you the whole time.
I've said forever, I would rather do Vet Center shows for the rest of my life than ever play like a stadium. Not like, I mean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely know what you're saying.
I don't mean like I want to get stuck in Vet Centers
forever. That's untrue what I just said, but it's true at the same time.
But like, I've always said like I would rather be in an environment like that.
Yeah.
Like,
for me, it's like, who am I in front of? You know, like locally, I like playing like Vet Centers and shit for the same reason that you were saying. Like, you can see your homies and stuff. But you know, if you're like, I don't want to play with August Ridge Red at a Vet Center. You know, like if I'm playing a show with them, I want to play on a big stage, because, you know, the people coming to see them know what they sound like. They expect them to sound that way. If they play on a decent sized stage, you're going to hear it. And if the next band, if they've never heard you, you're the next, or, you know, obviously you're not playing after them, but before them or whatever. Yeah. I want to have that slap production. Like, that's why I love playing at Aura, you know. Production there is fucking unreal.
Oh my god, and, that was next level stuff playing at Aura. I was just like, when I played there, it's like, if you mess up, you'll definitely hear it.
Yeah.
and we did. I remember being at the Rosie show, and like, you guys didn't fuck anything up, but I remember like you could hear everything, bro, in that sound system. Every little breath.
I also feel like it definitely pushes you to like realize who you are as a band, you know, as far as like messing up and stuff, you know. Yeah. You can sit there and think like, like when I was in Mara, I definitely always would say like, we are the tightest band, and we also had like extremely tight stage presence. We had good gear, like, and I was like, we're the obviously not like fucking
top dogs.
Too late, but we were like the tight band.
Well, and Too Late was like I feel like
level.
Yeah, for sure.
They're totally like, with Kevin being the production dude, they're like they're always gonna be the bar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then like just hitting that bar with them is just so sick and achieving. And like coming back, seeing Mara, you guys were definitely up there with them. Absolutely.
I remember the first time we played like a bigger show though. I think it was Port City.
I remember that show.
Yeah, and again, like, I thought we were dope, and then
I think Crisis played that show with you guys. Yeah, we opened for you guys.
Yep. And I remember seeing you guys and be like, oh, that was really sick. Everything sounded big and full, and then we played, and like obviously we went like harder that night than like other nights, because like it's a big venue, there's more people, you know, the whole thing, and you also get kind of hyped by like the treatment that you receive as a band that's like playing a larger venue, you know, like the green room and everything.
Dude, you guys' lineup too. You got the friggin' Jeremy. You got the bassist.
Devin.
Dude, I can't. He had the look. He had the whole nine. Like, he was definitely, he stood out as a bassist as well.
And him and Jeremy were both like 6'2", 6'3". You
know,
tall,
dudes, friggin' rip on.
Yeah. And I remember after that show though, I think it was Crystal. She was like, "You guys sounded fucking terrible."
Damn.
And I was like, what? Because I got off stage just thinking like what I think every night, like we're like one of the tightest bands. Like we killed it. Obviously we killed it.
Yeah.
And I went back to like the merch table and everything, and I was like, how'd we do? And she's like, that was fucking awful. And I was like, what? And
Damn.
she's like, were you paying any attention? Were any of you paying attention? She's like, Lucas killed it, the drummer. She's like, Lucas was perfect because he played to a click and like everything like that, and he was just
it's his
a
job.
prodigy,
Yeah.
And she's like, but you were literally all fucking so bad. And I was like, there's no way.
There's nights. I do it as a musician. Yeah. There's definitely those nights.
And then like we get home and she like shows me the video on the phone, and I was like, what? This is noise.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like playing that big venue with that big sound system, everything like again, it just makes you recognize like who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if we'd have killed it that night, it still would have been the same effect. You sort of, again, it would have been more of a realization of who you are. Like, okay, we are a tight band. That big, clear sound system shows that we are. But I definitely fucking ate my words on that one,
When you say that, there was I played a show in Biddeford, and the whole set got recorded, but the only sound that played in the audio video, like the video, was my guitar.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. You said that and I was like, this is my moment. This is like, seeing that video was so awful because I heard every single note I missed. Like I was like literally just thrashing my guitar around because I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
And just headbanging, but like missing, like sounded like the Guitar Hero, like missing the notes. Literally that. I was like, oh my God, dude. And from that point on, I always focused on my picking hand.
Yeah.
Because I was just hitting other strings. And even in recording, like with Duncan and even with Kevin, it would be like, oh, you're hitting strings you don't need to hit.
Yeah.
Like you're literally just hitting meaningless strings. Don't do that. Because I have such an open pick.
Mm-hmm.
But with other guitarists, they'll be like, yo, look sick, you fucking rep, and just fucking just, But
Yeah, we played, because I remember we played a show at the Webster in Hartford, and we played with, like, some dope bands. We played with, like, Great American Ghost and, like, I think Body Snatchers on it, and, like, I remember we pulled up just, like, feeling fresh as fuck, because we, like, sold all these fucking free sales and shit. We were like, yo, like, about to pull up. Played the whole set, thought it was dope. And then I remember being at the merch table and Robbie came up to me and I was like, yo, I was like fucking stroking my own dick. I was like, yo, I fucking killed that. And he was like, oh, really? Because there were kids outside laughing at you, like laughing at your vocals.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You always have that, though.
And it just fucking fueled me, bro.
How confident.
Me.
Yeah,
and it, like, it's like you said, bro. It just, like, puts you in your place. Yeah. And you're like, holy,
dude,
like, you
absolutely.
need it almost.
Like, the scene, talk about styles of scene, too. Like, you could be the top dog band up here. You go down south, you are the bottom bitch, it feels like. Like, the styles,
especially
too.
In
like,
hardcore. Yeah.
Oh, my God, in hardcore. It's a ruthless place. It really
fucking
is.
I
like,
Am.
They're so heavy, dude. They're like all those good
Texas
bands. Dude, it's the down south slaps definitely a little bit harder with the hardcore than the north does. Oh, depending on the area you go to. Massachusetts obviously has its own hardcore thing going on.
I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling bullshit on the south. Not the south in general. But like I genuinely think that New England hardcore right now is
I think we're our own breed, but I can't say that for the whole like northern part, like northern western area. Like I can say like New England, like can't really touch it because of like New England shows, like the Palladium shows go anywhere else. Oh my God, dude! Like watching that Vanna show. The last Vanna show was crazy. I've never seen such a big crowd move as one. Just like it was like shifting.
Yeah.
It was.
Is that the show? Is that the show where there's like the clip of Kublai Khan playing the hammer upstairs?
Oh my
you know what I'm talking
God!
about?
Literally, the crowd was like louder than them.
Yeah.
You will never ever know. That was so loud. It was crazy. Yeah, that show, that whole show was insane. What a bill! Like Roseview opened, and then afterwards it was played. Fucking Kublai Khan, Currents, Lines played the main stage, and that was just sick to see Lines play with Vanna again. Just because back in the day, you couldn't see a bill up here without seeing Lines or Vanna for a while, But it was sick, I always went out.
So snap to 2021 now. What what do you guys have going on right now?
We're literally in the studio in like 12 hours. I think we learned a lot from Hollowell in terms of just like writing songs. Like we talked about it earlier. Like with Hollowell, we wrote that EP in like a fucking month, and then we were in the studio like the next day.
It was a sick EP for what we did.
Yeah,
you know.
But it was just like we threw that shit together. And with Katahdin, like Luke and I are the only people who have been in this band the entire fucking time. Like from day one, from Hollowell all the way through. And we've made it a mission to like every time that we write a song, we like sit with that song for fucking weeks, and we're like, we need to make sure that this is exactly where we want it to be. And so we've been doing that, which is why there was such a big turnaround between Separation and To the Darkest Place. Like we dropped Separation in May, we dropped To the Darkest Place in October, just because we were so focused on like getting songs perfect. And now we're getting better at like cranking good songs out in the moment. But to like round it back around, we're in the studio tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're doing a 3-song EP.
Nice.
That we're really stoked on. Coming from the person who like started the band, I'm like, and I know fucking every time that a band puts out new music, everyone's like, oh, it's the best thing we've ever done. But like, I genuinely like this shit. You've been there for everything too. Like you were there for Hollowell, you were there for To the Darkest Place and shit. Like this is the best shit that we've.
There's definitely a new breed of music for sure. I think like this is. It doesn't sound like anything we've put out so far. I'll say that, and it's definitely.
But for the best, like not like
Absolutely.
We're not fucking like
No.
we're not doing some like Bring Me the Horizon like a full 180.
Yeah.
Like
it's definitely
Katahdin,
still same genre, same everything. It sounds the same, but definitely sounds different at the same time. It does not sound the same, but in the best way possible.
We're trying to. I think we're also trying to like. We're trying to do the whole like ignorant beatdown thing, but also like keep it spiced up. You know what I mean? Because like there's only so much you can do with like the boom boom, like the fucking first 4 frets. Like, so we're kind of trying to mix like that with like the fucking crazy riff, like crazy
for this
pull-off
EP. I think
shit.
that's literally like. I think it's gonna be perfect though for what we're about to show everybody. I think it's a good taste of what's gonna happen
like
in the future.
It really does go like some of these songs go from like crazy fucking riffage to like just caveman shit in like fucking blink of an eye.
That's awesome.
So we're really stoked on it.
It's so crazy to talk about hardcore music because it was growing up when your boy's like, I'm in a hardcore band. It's just like, oh, meathead shit. But like, just like being this serious about something that is so just easy. I don't want to say easy, but like hardcore music, people are like, oh, it's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like really dialing it down, these riffs, like me as a guitarist, like me and Max are the guitarists of the band. He's a vocalist, but he's a really, really good guitarist also, and he writes most of the riffs. Like he knows how to write really well, and I kind of have to sit back sometimes because I've been a musician for however knows how long, but like for the past 10 years I've been playing shows, and it's hard sometimes to be like, like this style is better than this style, but he has such a unique like new style that sometimes you just gotta let happen. You gotta put the past in the past, because I've met older musicians like that cannot get over like this is what slaps, and I'm just like, no, it does not. And here I am, the older musician, looking down at him, and he's like, this is what slaps, and I'm like, it slaps. you know.
Like, at the same time though, and like this is something that we've all thought about. Everyone in Katahdin, in terms of musical taste, like none of us. I do occasionally, Nick does occasionally, but none of us really listen to like
the same stuff,
the same exact shit, and like this kind of shit, like the music that we're making. You know, we all listen to metalcore.
We'll
hardcore.
meet up with bands like Alpha Wolf. I feel like we all dig, and Varials we all dig, and stuff like that. But that is the point where we're just like subgenres. Then. We're just
like I'm super about like I'm like a huge like title fight citizen movements, like that alty thing. Like
I love that's my cup of tea too. Yeah, I'm sad boy, Beach Boy stuff. Like
Nick is like straight crunchy death metal. Luke is like really like 2008 metalcore and shit like that. So at the end of the day, like the music that Katahdin makes isn't something that we all like. We don't listen to that style all the time, but we just like. That's just what we want to do. Like, we want to write music like that. You know what I mean?
Putting this out in front.
Like,
you have it out in front, so I got to put it. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're good. You're good. But it's just like, I'll sit in my fucking room all week, like, playing some fucking citizen-ass, like, youth shit. But then when we practice, I have to go down a drop G and write.
I feel like that's literally every, like, hardcore kid, though. They just, like... At home, I'm listening to like Home Safe, like Hourglass. I'm just like, oh, this is my and Turnover. I'm just like, and New 100th. Like people hate on New 100th. They're like 100th is not the same, but I listen to New 100th.
New 100th is sick. It was good.
Yeah, literally, I vibe to it. I really do. I was just at first, obviously, I'm just like, this isn't 100th. Like, is this a spoof? Is this like are you playing games right now when they released that? And I was like, no, this is 100th. I was like,
they're doing it.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I don't really listen to like hardcore or metalcore like at all anymore.
Yeah. No shit. Last time we were hanging out, we were honestly, I love Nickelback, and I'll even say that right now. Their riffs. We were talking about that last time. Yeah. I love Nickelback, and I'll always love Nickelback.
I think that before COVID, when we were playing shows all the fucking time, I'd never listen to hardcore or metalcore just because it was one of those things like you're around it so much, you know what I mean? So when you get 5 minutes away from it, why would you want to listen to more of it?
Yeah,
that was totally me today. I was like jamming out to it because my girlfriend she loves hardcore, and she was playing it, and I was like, can you just put on Movements? And she's like, I'm all movement out, like I can't listen to that right now.
No, dude, sometimes you gotta take 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't stand this right now.
Sometimes you just gotta put on Feel Something and close your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Cry a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not even subgenres of rock, man. Mostly what I'm listening to now is like Bryce Vine, Black Bear.
Black Bear?
Yeah, like hip hop stuff, you know?
Black Bear.
I love Black Bear. Even though he's huge, like I will still like fucking jam the shit out of his music. Post Malone, absolutely.
Yeah. And I listen to a lot of fucking podcasts now too. Just because like if a good metalcore song or hardcore song or whatever like comes on, like I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah.
You know, because I use Apple Music for fucking everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm avoiding it. It's just like right now, it's just like not what's doing
your cup of tea. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I totally understand that because honestly, never listen. You remember like growing up, like being in the scene, you're like, I listen to metal music and that's it.
Yes, of course.
And like that was totally me for a long time. I just grew up on rock. I grew up on AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all those bands like The Who and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I just wasn't listening to rap at all, and I just like recently just got into hip hop, like Black Bear, like you were saying. Like there's a local hip hop artist. His name is Brandon All. He's like
BL.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, the kid from Hot 104.7.
Yeah, he's
you go to high school with him, right?
Yeah, I went to high school with him.
That kid's the man.
I like jammed Show and Tell, and that's like one of my jams right now. For the past year, it's been my jam. But yeah dude. I don't know, like for a long time I hated hip hop, and now I'm like kind of slowly getting into it. Like there's like Y2K and Young No Money or Baby No Money. Don't know. But
no idea what you're talking
La
about.
La La song. When I popped off, then you're
yeah, Never Broke Again.
Yeah, no, hip hop's sick though. Honestly, just getting more comfortable with genres is really cool. I remember being so like one-sided about it. I'm like, this is what's good and this is what's bad.
At the same time,
everything's
though,
pretty good.
Yeah,
in moderation.
I feel like something that helps with that is the amount of bands that like looking at bands like Bring Me the Horizon, like even like Code Orange and shit that are like really fucking genre mashing. And it's like all these hardcore kids that are like strictly hardcore, like fucking Code Orange kids. And then they put out their last record that was like, you know what I mean? Like so much different shit on it.
Yeah.
And now these hardcore kids are like, oh,
this is cool.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, it totally is like that.
You know what I mean?
When your masters say it's all right.
Yeah.
You're like,
okay.
oh. Yeah.
It totally is. It really is. But that's with all bands, I feel like.
Yeah.
The 3-song EP of coming out, is that going to include the 2 songs that are released now?
No.
Okay, so those are going to be...
Yeah. We love the 2 songs that are already out. You know, those are our babies. But it's like I was saying earlier, like, we wrote Separation years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, over a year and a half ago. Yeah. To the Darkest Place, we've been playing since fucking Brandon was on drums, which is like when the band
That's
formed
crazy.
in 2018.
Then I became vocalist, and then like freaking and then like left, and here we are still playing.
all back around. But you know what I mean? Like that song's been around since before Separation. So
literally,
we love those 2 songs, and obviously they've changed a lot since we first wrote them. But
definitely time to move forward.
We're stoked to put out something that's like literally no one in the world has heard.
Yeah,
so that's something I hated about the release of the last 2 songs is like, I didn't hate it, but it annoyed me when people would comment on our shit and be like, "Song's dope, but like, I sounded better live" or some shit. I just don't want that. Yeah. I just want it to be fresh. I want, you know, like no previous opinions or whatever. Or like like I said, like the songs would change. You know what I mean? Like when we wrote Separation, it sounds nothing like it does now. Like the skeleton was there, but like people when that song came out were like, "Why don't you still do this part?" And we were like, "Shut up, dude! Like we're just doing." You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I remember when you played it live, like you did this breakdown right here, and like it's not in the song anymore. Like what the fuck? And like it's just annoying.
Those few kids that notice those few details, it's like what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's just like
it's cool that they notice it though.
But at the same time, like shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like bands evolve.
Yeah.
So that's we're trying from now on to like just have everything be fucking fresh, and it's dope. It's like I guess the silver lining of not playing shows is that like no matter what music we put out, like it's gonna be brand new to everyone, because you know there's no other way that we would be showing it to people without shows.
You're right. No, I miss shows so much. Talk about that. Like, just meeting so many new people at shows. Like, I met you at a show. Like, literally, like, it's...
I met you at a show.
Yeah, it's like, literally...
we all met each other.
All of us here have met each other at shows. And
crazy.
It's like meeting the best people in my life, dude. Talk about, like, bands like Kawanashi, dude. Like... So sick. My boy Peo. You know Peo.
Yeah. Me and him go way back. Dude, did you see the new fucking music video they just put out?
So sick.
Not only was the video sick, the fucking song is sick. The message is sick.
That band's fucking
Sorry, I'm chewing
crazy.
on Tums.
You're fine.
And then there was like... because obviously everything's going on right now with like Black Lives Matters.
Yep.
Black Lives Matter. And all of that. And... They did a screenshot of like the last release they put out. They wanted AP to pick it up for press.
Oh, I saw that shit.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
But then they picked them up for an article about persons of, or POC is the title they use, but persons of color in like hardcore music. And Kawanashi called them out.
Yeah. Do you remember? Like, we were reading that at practice. Remember they posted that shit? They were like, "Don't use us for this shit, bro."
Yeah, it literally said like, "You wouldn't pick us up for like something that we wanted, but you're gonna pick us up because we have a person of color and it's fucking trendy right now." Yeah, and they're like, "Suck my dick." I was like, "Dude."
Yeah. Wait. So this is probably a dumb question, but were you at the 212 show, right?
Yeah.
I just don't remember seeing you there.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I did not get to. I was working late.
We played
my shitty job at the time.
We played a show the night before in Bangor, and the night before was that. I don't know if you remember, but it was that fucked up snowstorm, and like there's that dude, and he like hacked the cell towers on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And the whole fucking East Coast shut down. That show was the night after, and I remember getting home from Bangor in the middle of the fucking blizzard at like 3 a.m. and I was like, fuck this. And then I woke up, like, went straight to fucking Kawanashi and Bad Move, and like, shit was crazy, dude. That show was awesome.
Oh, I wish I wasn't working that night. Pale hit me up too. It's just like, you better be there.
That shit was like wild. What a fucking fucked lineup. Like Bad Move and Burden and then Kawanashi. Yep. That was dangerous, bro.
Yeah, it was a small fucking room for that to be happening in too.
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking
that's literally like 2 blocks from where we are right now.
Yeah. That's the only reason that I knew like where we were.
I did not realize.
Yeah, I was driving. If you go down my driveway and take a left, and then like 2 streets down, take a right. Boom, right there, right at the bottom of the hill.
I was driving over the bridge, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is it.
I did not realize that. That's crazy. Yeah, man, that freaking Kawanashi, one hell of a band. I remember Roseview played this one show in Massachusetts, and it's so weird what the show's lineup was because it was all huge bands that ended up like doing something. It was weird how the show ended up, and at the time, none of these bands were big, let's say. So it was Roseview, Aminals, Varials, Kaonashi, and it was...
That's fucked.
It was literally... And Aminals was Downswing.
Yeah.
And they got signed to Rise, I think. Right? Rise? Or Fearless? I don't know.
No, Downswing is on Stay Sick.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Stay Sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all those... Dude, and they all slapped. That lineup was sick. I remember being, like, the lightest band there, though. You know what I'm saying? We were playing a drop C, and we were doing, like, counterparty melodic stuff, and people were like, this is sick. But I literally can't wait to hear Varials slap. And it's like, at the time, like what I was talking about earlier, the culture shock of music and the scenes and the clash of the styles, going to Mass and then hearing Varials, I'm like, I remember looking at Keanu with my mouth like open, being like, this is what I want to be doing. And he was like at the time, I feel like me and Keanu, like he was into hardcore music. He's into lighter stuff now, but like at the time he was like, yes. And the way they were moving too, their stage presence was a whole nother breed too of New England. Like we would gunsling our shit around at Wyndham, but like they just had the steps, they had the moves, and I was like, damn, I want to do that.
I gotta shout out Varials one time. That band's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and they're homies too.
Yeah, fucking good dudes. And honestly, yeah, that lineup, that bill was crazy. Ending that show, I did not know any of the bands there would like proceed to have the future that they have now. Like honestly, Kaonashi killing it. Peo, I think met them that show, or Peo was our manager at the time, and he was riding the bus down to that show with us, and met up with them there and was just like, oh yeah, these are my homies. Like they're gonna have me try out, like fill in for them. And it was it was just supposed to be a fill-in. I remember smoking weed with Peo and like the guitarist, and Peter was there. I don't think Peter smokes. He's the man also. Like Peter's always so supportive of the scene. Like man, he's the man. Like he'll go way out of his way. Like when Roseview used to play like in Philly, he would literally come out of his way to come see us, be like, Roseview's playing here, I'm going here. Like that's sick. Like wicked cool dude, wicked advocate of the scene and everything. Like
yeah, he was dope. I met him for like the first time, like not in an online presence, like at the 212 show.
Oh really?
Fucking man.
Yeah.
Do you remember do you remember like the fan being thrown? That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I was saying side stage.
Remember
dude,
the fan.
do you know Chris LeBlanc from Burden? Yeah. His girlfriend Michaela. You've met Michaela before, I think. She has like a face tat. Michaela Reagan.
Okay, yep.
She came to that show because Burden played. And some motherfucker picked up like a square fan and threw it across 212 and unplugged it from the wall and threw it and hit Michaela Reagan in the face during bad move.
Sounds like the one best.
It's not funny, but I'm gonna giggle.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And like I saw a video the next day, like bad move playing. You hear it knock her in the face. Dude. It's crazy. That show was wild.
Yeah,
dude. Do you remember that? Speaking of fucking girlfriends, do you remember that show we played at Studio 250? It was like Crisis.
The girlfriend days. Everybody had like girlfriends by themselves, by their sides. It was crazy.
Crisis, Mara, We've Been Deceived, and like a bunch of other bands, and it was fucking like as packed as that room possibly could have been. And somebody hit the vocalist Cam Wasakin, hit his girlfriend. Was it his? Yeah, I think it was his girlfriend. Hit his girlfriend in the nose and broke her fucking nose. And, like, there was a mom there, too. So they, like, called an ambulance, got the whole show shut down.
Oh, I feel like...
Bro, for real?
That.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Studio 250 wasn't the biggest place either. It was, like...
No, it was weird
than
shaped.
The size of this room, like, the stage and everything. It was, like, very weirdly shaped. I remember when big shows used to pop off there. It would look sick, like, Cruel Hands, what video was it?
I don't remember.
Cheap Life or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it was there, and it was so sick. It looked really sick because of how small it was.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
We've had people before get like. This is another thing I hate. I'm just going off on things I hate about shows. We've had people get like fucked up like that at shows. Like they'll get hit in the face, and then they'll blame it on us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like we'll.
I can't believe I got hit after you told people to hit everyone they can see.
Yeah, we've had kids come up.
It is your fault, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, we've had kids come up to us and they're like, "Yo, your band was sick, but like someone punched me in the face, so like fuck you guys." And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?
Holy shit!
Do you weren't? Oh fuck, I don't
No.
know if you're there. We played this show at Gino's, and there was this kid. I'm not gonna name drop, but there's this kid.
I'm down with fighting your friends, man, having a good time.
Yeah,
Like back in the day, you used to punch me in my head. We used to punch each other in the head. It was like that. That's how it was.
You know Gino's with the brick walls and shit. And it's laid out, kind of weird.
Yeah, like steps
with
down.
the steps.
And, yeah.
And there was this kid, and we were playing a show with Jesse and Duncan. I don't know if you're. It was the Bitterbones and Desmo tour, and the openers were.
Oh, I was not at that one.
The openers were Hollowell and Bad Move, and then this other rapper kid, and it was like.
I remember that.
And we played Gino's, and there was this kid, and he was like some SoundCloud, like Lil Peep, like half pink, half black hair, whatever, leaning up on the brick wall with his phone. And
he got smashed.
The lineup,
like, he got
the lineup was like, a rapper, and then like us and Bad Move, and then Jesse. And
yeah.
So this rapper played, and everyone was like, it was just a bunch of SoundCloud kids, and then we came on, and it's just like the room was suddenly full of SoundCloud kids, and then like kids in Timbs with like shaved heads, and
Ellis.
I remember, Ellis.
That's all I picture.
That it was Ellis was there because of Bad Moves.
No,
and
I
so
remember that show. I was there. I
fucking-
was one of those kids.
I remember this is the craziest shit. I grabbed the mic, like literally ring out. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up? We're Hollowell from Portland. Ellis runs across the room. Fucking like fucking like I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. Like
shit,
bro,
right?
throws his fucking leg up above his head, kicks this SoundCloud kid in the face.
Oh no!
Knocks his head against the brick wall, just sinks down to the floor, like gets up, runs out of the venue, he's holding his nose and shit. And I remember on Facebook, like the next day, he posted this whole thing, and he was like, "Yeah, the band was dope, but like I got my fucking nose busted. Like fuck hardcore. Why's it gotta be so violent?"
It was never like
and
that.
I was like,
feel
"What the
like
fuck,
at shows
dude?"
for us back in the day. Like people used to get hurt, but I remember getting smashed at a show and just like in the face.
You'd
and
get
then,
up and be like, "Thank you." Like,
no, I would definitely be pissed. Definitely be upset. Yeah. But it wasn't like I would blame anybody there. I would be like, "I'll see you in the pit. I got you."
I've always been on like the opposite side, not opposite side of the argument. Like I definitely don't think you should be complaining about getting hurt, but I also don't feel like, and I always get blasted every time I say this, but do you remember in like elementary school gym class before you started to do like jumping jacks, everyone touched fingertips so that they had enough space to not hit each other? Like the thing with this genre is it's the support is so minimal already, and it's such an intimidating place for like new viewers that like why is it okay? And I love Ellis, but why do we embrace actions like that only one, maybe you go to shows every week and you got a concussion, now you don't want to go back.
True.
Or two, it's the first time. Imagine this. Imagine you at like 16 with all the dudes in crisis, and it's your first fucking show, and you know
jumped or some shit.
One of you got smashed out, and the other four are now also afraid, and you guys don't go.
That band that smashed you out.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that fear, dude. I remember.
But like, but you got over it. But there's so many people that just won't. They'll never go back, and like all we're doing is killing our ability to like pack rooms.
That's very true. Honestly, I remember. Like being young and naive and like doing dumb shit, like getting into fights at the vet center. I remember like it was something about a girlfriend, and one of my friends like saw her after she said that she was gonna be there for me, yada yada, the basic bullshit, And then we both like just fought like really quick. It wasn't like anything intense. We're both friends now. But we both fought really quick, and the room cut in half.
You got in a lot of fights at our shows.
There was one fight I got into a Katahdin show, but he hit me first, and I hit him second.
I think though, for every kid that gets beat up like that and then gets afraid to ever come back, there's another kid who gets beat up like that and comes back because of it.
Right, but the dude that continues to come is not going to bring more people with him.
No, I don't. I don't.
I'm not saying that like my way is or my thought process is the right thought process. I'm not saying that. It's just my perspective on it.
I'm with you there, honestly. Though.
Yeah, I just remember. I'm trying to remember. Like, do you remember? I think it was the Hollowell EP release show.
Yeah.
And that kid. Those kids. Remember
he
that?
went
remember
around
that group,
punching.
That group
it was that Mitch. Remember Mitch? He's my boy now, but he used to do the same shit. He used to go around just bopping everybody in the head, just like, or a good bop around with everybody. Yeah. It would be whoever. It could be like anybody just standing there. He would bop you in the head. It wouldn't be like a bop that would knock you out, but it would be a bop where you're like, what the hell is that for?
Do you remember that group of kids that came to all of our shows? Those kids from New Hampshire? Those
absolutely.
Kids?
Yeah,
and I remember this kid got fucking busted in the pit.
You're
like
totally right.
Nose,
that's what you're referencing. Yeah, I'm like, why are you saying that somebody got busted up and they wanted to come back?
he was like 15. It was one of his like he didn't really go to shows. He came to a show, busted in the face,
broke his nose.
Yeah, nose
absolutely.
Like pointing in a different direction.
Oof.
Yeah,
goes in the fucking bathroom. I go in the bathroom to take a piss before a set. He's in there, covered in blood. He fucking bites down on a paper towel and puts his nose back in place.
He's a rugged kid. I follow that kid on Instagram, and he's honestly built. Like, he's a tough kid.
But I remember being like, "Yo, like I hope this doesn't like put you off."
To your,
and he was like, "Fuck that! Like I'm coming to every show you guys ever play around here."
And he did. He
totally
did. I remember going to Taco Bell, seeing him there, and be like, "No shit."
He fucked with us. There was like this weird group of like 10 New Hampshire kids, and every single time we played a show within 100 miles of New Hampshire,
it was him and his girlfriend and their friends, like all of them.
At Mosh, they'd buy all the merch. Like they're dope.
Yeah, they're wicked cool. I love kids like that, man.
Yeah, like literal kids too.
Yeah,
like literally,
like 16, like 17,
could barely get into the venue.
Yeah.
Couldn't get in unless it was all ages.
I remember that. Like there was an issue one night.
Yeah,
at in New Hampshire at Bungalow, right?
Bungalow.
Yeah,
we were a Bungalow.
I was there that night.
We were a Bungalow band.
Yeah,
we were.
One time, I think one of the biggest backhanded compliments I guess I've ever received is when the bartender at Bungalow, called Hollowell to our faces the Bungalow house band.
Oh really?
They called us that. Do you remember that?
I remember that. She was like trying to compliment us too. She was just like, "Oh look, the Bungalow house band."
Yeah, we walked in.
And she was like stoked to see us, and I was like, "No, don't say that."
In her defense, we played like our first 5 shows at the Bungalow.
Yeah,
because like that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was 17, so they wouldn't even let us play at Gino's and shit.
Right.
Like I could barely get in, so we just had to play the Bungalow. That's the only place we could fucking play. Vet centers wouldn't let me in. Like nowhere else would even let me in. Empire kicked me out.
Oh yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. I was like, wasn't there a show where they were like, "Yo, you can't be in here unless you're performing." So either
dude, that happened with Lucas all the time.
Yeah,
he's like, you can only perform and then you have to leave.
We played Empire and we were it was that show for that kid for Chris Butt.
Chris Butt. Yeah,
and we headlined, bro.
Yeah,
we headlined the show and we played at 11 p.m.
That was one of the best shows I think I ever played. I remember one guy, I did sound check and I was screaming. I was doing sound check, and he's like, "You're not gonna be able to do that for 25 minutes."
And
dude, I fucking shredded for 25 minutes, and I have videos of it, and I was like, dude, I wish
that show was beast.
Send him that, because honestly, that was probably the tightest, like, because Chris Butt, dude, he would always go to the shows, dude, Suited 250, he was an asshole when I first met him, I was like, this kid's an asshole. But then I started seeing him more at shows, and
I never met him, but he sounded like the fucking man.
He was a show family, like he was one of the cool dudes that you met at a show, and talk about throwing down. Nobody threw down as hard as that kid, dude. Straight the fuck up, dude. He had this donkey kick. I've never seen anybody do it from the time I saw him. He would literally just stand on like both of his hands, like fucking, and push off of his hands, donkey kick back. If you get caught with that, toast. Yeah. Put a fork in me. I'm done.
Oh, I did, dude. We played a show at Sad Cafe back when it still was. Like Mara was on tour, and then Leveler was on tour. 2 separate tours. But they both met at the Sad Cafe.
Yeah.
And Chris was there. And this was when like Jesse and I kind of had a problem.
Yeah.
And so inherently, Chris and I had a problem.
Yep.
You know?
They're boys. They're
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Back in the day, that's how it was.
Young. Which is no problem, you know. It is what it is.
Growing up.
And I was dancing, and I don't know. I have this thing where I do like this kick and a cartwheel.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I know the spin kick. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I almost hit Chris. So when I stood up, like when I was done flailing, I just kind of like, I didn't shove him, but I pushed him.
Yeah.
You know, like throw him right here.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna keep dancing. He took that as like, you know, I'm trying to I'm trying to fight.
So he just comes at you like
It wasn't even right away. He did that whole like, you know, the look back that we all do, and then and he walked away, and I was like, oh shit, well that's not how I wanted that to happen.
Yeah, you're like, shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then like 4 minutes later, he does a cartwheel, which he didn't really do. So like I was like, okay. So you know, so he did a cartwheel, whatever. Yeah. And like as I look over as he's finishing it, he does the fucking mule kick. Dude, like both feet like right below the ribs.
Oh,
and it was like 10 minutes.
You've caught in one of those.
Yeah,
That's
it was
literally what I was talking about. I'm like, oh no.
And the band that was playing, like we were up after them too.
Yeah.
So I had like 10 minutes to like try to catch my breath. Yeah.
Right in the diaphragm.
So bad.
Yeah. And he was a little jumpy. It's not like he was the biggest dude in the world, but he was definitely toned, and he knew what he was doing for sure.
On that note, let's drop these for Chris Butt, huh?
Chris Butt. Cheers. Oh, baby.
Yo. I feel like a literal baby.
Sometimes. No, you're okay.
I don't know how I spilled that much on the table.
Me either. I did a blap.
You didn't.
I didn't.
Oh.
That's
what it's here for.
That was crazy. That was crazy to be a part of.
These
are the moments I'm talking about that sucks about being straight edge. Because I love it, but like just watching that shit, I'm like, I want to.
You're still a part of it though. Like you're here. Like
believe me, dude. I'm drunk enough for the whole room.
Yeah. You can take you my share.
I did.
That's why I keep taking off my sweater. I keep getting like I'm already
flashes.
I'm already getting into the hangover, and I haven't even fallen asleep yet. So I keep taking off my jacket. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but I was like glistening a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And then I like pull off.
It. I looked up and I was like, oh.
I saw you see it. Yeah. Like I said, I've been drinking since like 9 this morning, dude.
I feel that, dude. God. Honestly, I have days like those where I'll start off the morning, I'll practice a little guitar, and then I'll have a couple of IPAs. And honestly, I'm like not much of a beer guy, but I'll drink like vodka and I'll have some IPAs and stuff.
Yeah.
Gets the job done. I like stuff that gets the job done.
Yeah,
I don't like any shortcuts.
I feel like being straight edge has turned me into like kind of an old man, and I know I'm only 19, but
I understand what you're saying.
Being straight edge now, I'll like have a Diet Coke at 8 p.m. and be like, oh,
Why
I
am I doing
I'm not gonna sleep now.
I gotta cut it off after 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll have like a fucking Sprite and I'll be like, oh, all right, tapping out.
Dude, in October, so like I watch a lot of podcasts, I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, and you know the people that you bring into your life through, you know, social media or you know, video, audio, whatever, kind of they end up influencing you.
Yeah.
You know? And so like Joe Rogan has been doing Sober October for like 10 years, and he tries to get like different comedians every year to like also be a part of it. And so all the podcasts I watch are all like part of like the Joe Rogan like friend circle, whatever. And they were all talking about doing Sober October and like how much weight they lost the year before, and like all this shit. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. So I go around telling everybody at work that you know, I'm gonna do Sober October, and I'm also gonna do a diet. I'm gonna do like a strict diet, and I just fish, chicken, and salads.
For a month? That's actually, I know that sounds so stupid, but I've never even thought about doing that. Just been like, let's.
That's G.
I made it 3 days before you pat my back too hard. I made it 3 days with drinking, but I did change my diet because like my fucking diet's awful. You know, I work in a dealership and I'm a pretty high-ranking manager. I don't leave my office for anything. I have a guy for everything. If I run out of pods, I got a guy. If I need a breakfast sandwich, I got a guy. If I need lunch, dinner, Red Bull, whatever, somebody does all this shit for me. Yeah.
Oh,
that sounds legit as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Again, I worked 10 years for this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like I literally just sit in an office and consume fucking 5,000, ice cream, snacks, like 5,000 calories a day easily, just being a fucking fat ass. And then and then I drink pretty heavily.
Making bank though while doing that.
I do okay. But then when I'm not working, I'm drinking, which is again another massive source of calories.
Calorie builder.
Yeah, I went like 3 days, the first 3 days without drinking, stuck to the diet. I lost like 11 pounds though.
That's actually good though.
Yeah, and then I also did intermittent fasting, so I didn't eat or drink after 9 p.m. until like noon or something the next day. So 16 hours I wouldn't eat or drink. Water, obviously, but
that's crazy.
And then
that's fasting. That's considered fasting. 9 until 12.
Intermittent fasting. Yeah, so you 16 hours off, 8 hours on.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. And then I drank black coffee, which is basically 0 calories, and water. And I lost like 11 pounds that month. But then November hit.
November.
And then December.
Yeah, and here we are in Maine.
Yeah.
Hibernation season.
Yeah. So I've gained back the 11 pounds twice,
But I feel that, dude. The older I get, I'm like, I'm growing this now, dude. Where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah. Dude, for me, it's like, I look at pictures, of even 5 years ago when I was like, God damn, I'm fat. Like, in the moment, I'm like, I'm really fat. And then I see a picture of me 5 years ago, and I'm like, I wish I was that size again.
That's how I feel.
Or like when we first started playing music, dude, I was like 190, and I was like, oh man, like the biggest I've ever been in my life. This is crazy.
Yeah, the Portland Grange day. I remember you when I first like.
I used to wear a medium and fucking Hollister button-ups, dude.
Dude, we were all so young, dude.
And now now I'm like I'm literally like 270 pounds, and I'm like 5'8", so it's like obvious, Fucking sucks. Or like skinny jeans I bought last year. Yeah. They don't want a button right now.
Dude, I feel that way about flannels, dude. When the flannels start to get tighter and tighter, you're like, damn, this used to be baggy on me. Mm-hmm. I know, you're like, you're talking
about my weight. Yeah, my weight doesn't really fluctuate, but I've definitely, since quarantine, I've definitely.
No, you're going to be healthy your whole life. I've seen your jeans. I've seen you. I've seen your
parents. Jeans don't always have. Both my parents are over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they're like tall. They're both like tall, dark, and handsome. And I'm 5'8",
that's me.
White as a motherfucker.
Okay, so it's like
I'm tall and handsome.
You got a solid beard and solid hair though. You look handsome. There's nothing.
Thank you. But like my dad, like literally, obviously he also lived in Florida his whole life, so there's a reason why he was like darker complected. And yeah, he drank an 18-pack until the day he fucking died, and he was never more than like 180.
Yeah.
And tall, muscular, lean.
Yeah.
Italian, so all he ate was fucking, pasta.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? And my mom, being over 6 feet tall for any woman that's tall.
That's tall.
Yeah, for real.
I just want to know what the milkman looked like. So, I got a feeling. But then my stepdad, my parents got divorced when I was like 6 months old. And I actually didn't even know who my biological father was until I was like 6 or 7.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. So my stepdad, he's my dad. I call him my dad.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? He's been there my whole life.
He earned that role, absolutely.
But he's like my height, my weight, same hair color.
Are you sure he's not your dad?
I know. No, like anytime I've ever told somebody that he's not my real dad, they're like, no fucking way. There's no way.
I think you got time and messed up or something.
Yeah, right. And then he has 3 sons, and I look more like him than his 3 sons do.
That's crazy.
Super weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think
things work out though the way they do. I mean,
I think like you said, I think the height plays a factor. I'm like 180, something like that. But I think the fact that I'm 6'3", like it stretches out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's displacement.
If I was like 5'7", 5'8", I'd probably be packing more than
I mean, you'd be a little bit husky, but dude, I'm 5'8", I'm fucking 270.
Yeah,
like I'm a planet.
Yeah, I got blessed with that good metabolism.
Yeah,
I did not.
Me
I definitely gotta hit the
got fucked
treadmill for sure. I did get fucked up, and like what you're saying, my dad, he's fit. He's pretty fit. My mom, she won bathing suit contest when she was younger. Like she has trophies.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, if there's a dad bod trophy, let me.
Yeah.
Hey, for real though, dad bods are in right now.
They are.
They're
I'm pretty
fortunate
fortunate.
shit, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
Being short will never be in though.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
you're
such
such an
a-
asshole.
Dude, that's not true. That's not true.
No, that's totally true.
I don't see you as short though. If
Yeah, I
if
don't
we're
think you're
getting
like a
on
short
this,
guy.
if we're getting
Thank
on
you.
this conversation, you keep saying like you're short. Never once.
How
I
tall-
think
how
you're
tall are
in
you?
a very
5'8",
yeah.
5'9" maybe.
That's tall.
You're
Tall.
Yeah.
You're not short.
That's like the height. Isn't that like the average male height?
You're insulting short people.
5'10"?
Maybe, yeah, but like all of my family and friends are all like Rocket, like Jeremy, Devin, like all my friends are tall like
So
that. My friend
you're
Cody.
short compared to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're like I'm shorter than all my family.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I feel like in turn, like, if you think you're short or tall, it comes down to like who you associate with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm a tall ass motherfucker. But
You're
when
tall.
when I stand next to Nick,
He's tall.
Nick's like 6'7". You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I stand next to Nick, I'm like, holy shit, I'm a fucking
Is that your drummer?
midget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He even behind the kid, he looks tall.
He is
looks
huge.
tall. Who is your old drummer?
Caleb.
Yeah.
Lorraine. He just wasn't into it anymore. It's not like he didn't fucking hate it or anything, but I think that when shows it was when shows stopped.
Yeah.
It was the summertime. I was out in LA. I was doing my own thing. We were kind of all doing separate things. You know, we would still get together and practice and shit, but
Yeah.
like we weren't. And he just kind of just hit us one day and it was like, yo, like I'm just not in it right now.
Yeah.
He's doing dope shit too. He's becoming like a math teacher. Like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, he's doing cool shit. But he was in that life for a minute.
Oh,
He
yeah,
toured,
definitely.
He toured with for the Fallen Dreams for like a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, filled in, and he
Talk
did
about a good time.
yeah, for real. He did all that shit. Like he had a fucking drum tech. Like he had
That's sick.
he had everyone do his shit for him. No, you know what I mean. And so like when he came back, it was definitely a fucking culture shock for him when he started playing with us. He had to I remember we would be like loading in. He'd be like, "I miss my drum tech."
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Loading up the alchemy stairs.
To trust somebody
man.
that much with your rig, though,
Yeah.
I literally do not trust many people. Honestly, I'm just like, even with other rigs, it's just like, I kind of want my hands on this.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, techs are out there that are like flawless.
I think he had a good guy, but he at the end of the day, like he was the fucking man. He's still close to all of us. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he hit
Caleb
me up.
is-
He texted me like 2 days ago. He was like, "Yo, like new song fucking slaps."
Nice.
Yeah, he's like, he did. I guess the only thing that he did with us and recorded with us was Separation,
Mhm.
but like he was in the band for close to a year.
Yeah, no, he definitely learned the songs very quickly. He was a solid drummer. He's literally everything we asked for and more, I think. Like when I was in the band at the time and even when I was out, like outside of looking in, very solid dude, very solid
Great
drummer.
drummer.
Yeah,
Great
great drummer. Like he reminded me a lot of Jake Wortman, honestly, when it
Yeah,
comes to
kid's a
structure.
killer.
He's a powerhouse.
Talk about a machine, dude. Oh
He's
my
actually the drummer
God, dude.
on the Heathens EP.
He's a
For real?
what hasn't he played drums on? No, actually,
Yeah,
I think
I
he's
mean-
played on every track that was ever made. No, I'm just joking.
Jake's good.
No, seriously, I think that was a joke on tour. I'm like, what drum track haven't you played on, Jake? Because
Yeah,
he's so
he knows
tight. You know?
everybody.
Well, with Halo, like he's just working for them, and like he's just a machine. So when anybody needs a drummer at the Halo, like
Yeah.
they don't point in any other direction.
We've
They're
been-
like, we got you.
We've been pretty blessed with drummers for the most part.
Mhm.
We had you.
Absolutely.
You were good.
I was a guitarist that loved to slam on drums.
Yeah, you could hold a 4/4.
Yeah, no,
You could hold
absolutely.
it down.
I could play some alright fills, and
Yeah.
I could I slammed on drums. All I needed was a click. Dude, remember that time I was the vocalist and the drummer wasn't there, and I actually learning the songs on vocals, I learned the tempo. Like, naturally just got the tempo.
Yeah.
Went back on drums, and you were like, why are you more solid on drums than you were when you played drums for the band? And I was like,
dude, for real. No, but we had Brandon, and then we had, like, some shady fucking fill-ins for a minute, but... But, like, in terms of Caleb and Nick, like, I think, because obviously, like, in Maine, fucking drummers are the... I had a drum teacher tell me one time that finding a drummer is easy, but finding a good drummer is the hardest shit in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, keeping a good drummer is hard. Yeah.
But
because everybody wants him.
Yeah, we were blessed as fuck with Caleb, and then, like, when that... Because we had Nick filling in for a little bit, too, even before Caleb, and then Caleb took it on. And when he left, like... It's kind of crazy because, like, it seemed like we weren't even tripping about it. We immediately were just like, oh, like, we have people that could help us out. Yeah. And Nick came in, and Nick's a fucking machine. I don't think that dude is human. He's one of those drummers that's just fucking, like, his posture is just straight, 90-degree angle, and he's just a fucking machine because he's like a gent guy.
He's very focused. He's very, very focused on his methods.
He's crazy. Some of the, like, the fills and shit in the new EP, like, are
definitely one of the best drummers in New England. I would put that down now. There's a lot of people that I feel like, I mean, who knows what talent's out there that hasn't been seen yet, but the known talent that's out there in New England, I would put him up against it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's very good at all styles of music too, when it comes to black metal, when it comes to because me and him are also in another band. We play Nick plays drums in a band called Bloodwave, and I sing in a band called Bloodwave, and we're wicked. It's definitely a band that is very low key right now, but when we were in production with that, we're working on the EP right now. But when we were in production with that, like,
are you doing that with Mark?
Yeah,
I think I saw him post about that like months ago.
Yeah, no, we're still like we're working on it. We've been working on it for like the past year, and it's actually coming together really well now because we kind of. Me and Mark and Nick were in Roseview, and we're like, we want to play metal, and I had Hollowell and doing all that shit. So I was like, I'm already doing this, but I'm down to like dabble with you guys and kind of, because they loved my vocals. They were just like, you have sick vocals. Like, I would love to have you on this. And so I started recording with Mark, and we're like starting to find ourselves now. Honestly, our new shit's not even gonna be like black metal. Like, it started out being black metal, but it's not ending up being black metal because all of our influences are just like we're like, cause
it's not like Miss May I ass shit.
Yeah, like it's turning into metalcore essentially, like more like bringing it back. And I'm just like, I love that metalcore shit, like Devil Wears Prada like type
my
shit.
Favorite band of all time,
dude. Talk about one of the best band that I've ever played with, like. The vocalist, dude, I remember it was like a movie. Like, it was like a scene in a movie. Like, he was in a dark room in backstage, like, fucking practicing.
Really?
Like, he literally, it was
some
outside of
8 Mile shit.
Literally, it was, Port City Music Hall.
Yeah.
It was the green room, but, you know, where the stairs are where you load in and stuff, that's always really dark and stuff. And, like, it was when the first band was playing. And it was a band from New Hampshire that was touring for them for like 3 days or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we're in the green room out back, just hanging out, drinking some beers. And all I hear is like screaming, like just this tight, really eerie, like goosebumps screaming. And it's coming from a dark room. Like, I can hear it from a black door. And it's literally the lead singer of Devil Wears Prada just like prepping, like, 2 hours before his set.
That's
like, it was literally a very sick time in my life, and I think about that moment. What a dedicated vocalist. He didn't talk to many people. He wasn't very talkative.
He's definitely a quiet guy.
Yeah, he is, but very talented for sure.
I don't remember. I don't think I've ever warmed up before a show. I don't know if that's shitty to say of me.
I have, and it definitely helps. I will say that, and I always forget. Like, even with production-wise, I'll be like, yeah, I'm ready. But am I truly ready? Did I take 15 minutes to do breathing exercises to open up my lungs?
No, before we record, like tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing that shit. I don't think before a show I ever, like warmed up.
Prepped? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
No.
I remember shows I didn't, and I remember shows I did.
There were shows where you probably should have.
Yeah, definitely. I remember, dude. Definitely vocals. Let's just talk about vocals for a sec. Like, I remember being so solid because I would scream every week. I would literally, and then not screaming every week. Like, fucking, like, you gotta work your vocal cords every day because they will not work the same.
Yeah.
And I remember being in Hollowell. Remember, I could scream, and I remember Robbie being like, "Does that hurt?" I'm like, "No, I'm all set." Like, didn't lose my voice, never lost my voice. Went on the Roseview tour, and I wasn't screaming consistently, but I was like, I got this because I got the pipes to do it. But do I got the vocal cords to do it?
Right.
So I lost my voice like 2 nights in.
Oh, no.
And I had 2 weeks to go in the UK. And I literally had nothing because my vocal cords, my pipes, my lungs could do it because they were, I knew what to do. My vocal cords were not weathered for what I was about to throw at it. It was just like literally blown. They were like, "Fuck you, we're done." And I couldn't even falsetto. I couldn't go like, "Ooh." Couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It would be gone. It would be like,
yeah. It's trial and
it
error.
sucks. It did suck in the UK. I remember if that ever happens, eat some fat. I know that sounds so gross, but if you eat a fat steak or eat chicken with some fat in it, it coats the vocal cords, and you can. I don't know how I figured this out, but I was like, ah, like I was so like in the UK. I remember eating chicken one night, and I was just like so thick. I was like, where did that come from? And I was like, it was the chicken I ate. It was definitely.
Look at fucking like Corey Taylor and like Iowa era Slipknot.
Yeah,
that motherfucker was doing like a fifth of bourbon before every show, and it would just coat his throat and just never went out.
Oh, honey, dude! Oh my god, dude! Yeah, I would. Honey is one of the best like fucking coats.
Oh yeah,
you could do.
Honey and shit, yeah.
Do that bourbon, yeah. Is it the honey bourbon you're talking about? The honey,
I don't fucking know. I was one. I was like, 1 year old, bro. I wasn't there.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, we did honey on the road. Like we in the van that we had, I saw in like one of those digital tour bus things. I think it was Varials took like like one of the shoe racks that you hang over your door with all the slots. We hung that in our van door, and we would just put like fucking, Tylenol, Advil, like and shit. And I had like one of the little honey bears.
Yeah,
I would just suck that shit.
Oh
on
yeah,
the road.
dude.
Whenever we weren't in a venue in the van driving, I was sucking on that shit. And it was fire.
I definitely took the Corey Taylor approach.
Just
Drank a lot.
Drank it out.
Yeah. I feel like that's where people think it gets the rugged feeling. You get that grit.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you're less afraid. You're less constricted.
Absolutely. The nerves are loosened up a little bit. You're a little juiced.
I thought.
Is it okay if I take a hit of pot?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that okay? Here we go.
4 times.
Sorry.
Tonight. We played a
Katahdin
show.
doesn't approve, but I approve.
Yeah, we played a show in Burlington, Vermont, and I think this is genuinely why I don't warm up. We played a show in Burlington, Vermont, and I got the fucking Zen of screaming. You know what I mean? Which it works for some people, but for the type of shit that I do, it's just purely out of my throat. Like I don't use my diaphragm. I don't use anything.
Yeah,
which is dangerous.
I know. But whatever.
But you're like, fuck you. I'm gonna.
Yeah. But we played a show, and I had the warm ups, and I was like, fuck it, I'll fucking do a warm up. Maybe if anything, like it'll improve my voice. You know what I mean? Did the warm up, played the show, kind of felt like shit the whole show. As soon as the set ended, went outside and threw up blood all over the parking lot.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably has nothing to do with the fact that I warmed up, but ever since then I've just been like, fuck warming up. I did it one time and I threw up blood.
I don't think they're related.
I don't think it is either, but I still it's just like
I get
it.
I get it.
I would go see a
don't think
doctor.
it is. But I remember like fucking we would go to shows and Robbie or Luke or whatever be like, yo, let's go do warm-ups. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And whenever I didn't warm up, I would perform so much better.
Yeah, Devin used to be, because Devin was our bass player, and he used to be really into like warming up.
Yeah.
And he would always try to convince me to do it. And I'm just like, nah, dude. But for me, it's a different reason. Like, you know, you talk about, you know, warming up to sound good or to get through. Like, I've always been like an extreme. My method is extremely harsh, like on my body.
Yeah.
You know, on my diaphragm, my fucking throat, everything. And you know, you talk about you don't lose your voice. Like I'm the type that like very much does every show.
Yeah.
Always have for 10, 12, whatever, however many years.
The best though, but they.
Well, the thing, like, just to finish my point real quick, like, for me, like, I know if I warm up, I'm just cutting into my shelf life, you know, and my screams, the older I get, are only getting worse, and it's like I only have so many left in me, like, I'm not going to waste them on
I know what you're saying,
getting ready, you know.
Dude, I never even thought of it like that. I mean, I'm
shelf
19,
life.
so
When you said shelf life, I'm
but-
like, I know what you're saying because you don't want to waste all you got in your pipe. You know, you want to kind of you want to hold that air in the bag for as long as you can.
That's
and
fucking genius. You should write a book.
Yeah, thanks. I
I
will.
literally save like
No,
that.
straight up. If you did like your own Zen of screaming, but was just like
maybe
more
there's
straight
different
up.
warm ups that you can do that's not gonna fucking kill you at the same time and ruin everything that you got.
Well, like
Because
warm-ups don't kill me. Like talking about like Melissa Cross, like what she does with Randy
humming.
Blythe, the humming, the pen in the mouth, the humming over, the jumping jacks. Like, do you remember the jumping jacks thing?
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
ABC?
warms up all your
So
the blood.
like what I liked about using that was finding the spot in your range, because it's A is like go as low as you can go, B is a
Yeah.
little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, and shit like that did help me find like the spots to use for like hitting different parts of your range.
Yeah.
But it didn't help me like when I'm done doing that, like I feel like I just did a set, like I'm just done for the day.
Yeah.
You know, I got to hit the 24, I got to reset and try again the next day. It didn't get me to the point where I was like, okay, I feel better than I would have had I not done it. Now I'm going to go kill it. Like that's just, again, it's just whatever style of screaming I have, you know, it's just it's taking away from how much I can do that day. And it's definitely a damage thing too, because when I was younger, I used to be able to fry scream really, really fucking well. And you know, you're talking about how you can't do a falsetto after you hurt your voice. Like your fry scream or your false chord and your falsetto come from the same spot, you know, in your arrangement. And you know, fry scream takes such little effort that, you know, you can hold the scream for, you know, a solid minute, and it doesn't hurt, you're not out of breath,
No pain.
because you're just going, ah, you know, for forever. And that ability for me, like I just can't do it anymore. And I used to be able to like Mitch Lucker lows, that's super quiet, like overtone, breathy, like whatever that sound is. I used to be able to do that shit. And then, you know, I'd listen to Norma Jean, and I could do everything. And then it's like I started noticing every day, like it would go away, like I could do it for less and less amount of time. And I tried to find different ways to do it, and I just stopped screaming for like 2 years. And then I met somebody else that was like, well, I do it this way, which is just like the diaphragm, like full breath in, full breath out, you know. And but even that, like the longer I do it, like if you listen to like Mara's record, like the Brevity Code, like one of the first songs Mara put out.
Yeah, Brevity Code, that shit was fucking low.
My
like,
voice,
like,
yeah. And
like, it was fucking crazy.
And you listen to like the newer Heathen stuff, I'm not even going low anymore. I'm just like trying to hit like a lower part of a mid range, and that's truly just as low as I can go now.
Yeah,
you know. And then that's why I started doing like the hollering stuff, because the hollering doesn't require so much, you know.
The lows
tone.
you can do powerful, but in short periods of time. You don't have a lot of sustain. I feel I'm totally on the same page with you, because in the new band that I'm singing in, very powerful lows. Can I sustain them as long? No, I cannot.
Right.
My mids and my highs are the sustaining, long driven vocals that I can do, and that's why I always in the recording studio, if I do my lows first, there's no way I'm doing highs after, because my throat's done. Like, and that's what I tell Mark too. Every time I go in for vocals, I'm like, let's get the highs and mids out of the way. I'll go over, run, do all the lows I can do, and then that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'll lose it if I do lows. There's no way I'll lose the grit in my highs. That it'll go flat, and it just feels not right. You know.
I'm like just starting to, we've noticed it at practice. I'm like just starting to tap into other like ranges.
So I heard you do super low last night.
Yeah, like
a
being
very, very like deathcore-y low, and I've been practicing that, and I heard you do that, and you fucking executed it very well.
Like being a brand new vocalist, like even with Separation, like my style has always been very like Travis when he was in Varials and shit. Like this that raw low.
Super grit.
And I've just recently been tapping into the mids, and it's like holy shit, you know what I mean? Like I can hold a note for more than 3 seconds, and it's like dope as fuck.
And that's where it counts. It really does. It's all about the sustain. It doesn't matter what you can project. It matter what you can project and sustain.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Like that sounded really dope for 1 second.
Hold it for another 10 seconds.
That's
and in the studio, that's where it counts too, because the production, like whoever's producing you guys, is gonna be like, you gotta hold this out for this long, and you're like, that's impossible. That's not gonna happen.
That was happening with Separation. Duncan would be like, yo, like,
hold that out.
It has to go to this. And I'd be like, yo, I fucking can't. And like, that's why I'm actually stoked.
Thank God for music production. But like,
I'm stoked to be back in the studio and have this whole new range that I haven't used on either of the 2 songs.
That's when I found out what studio bands were, and that's when I found out what real band you know what I'm saying? Because there's studio bands like Bring Me the Horizon, one of the biggest bands out there. I do believe they are a studio band though.
Like, do you really?
When it comes to vocals,
older Bring Me the Horizon
was solid as fuck until Ollie Sykes is an animal. He'll adapt to anything that comes his way, and like
he's another prime example of he gave his body to the game. You know,
he did.
If I'm saying I am an example, he's the prime example. Like,
he had the pipes. I'll say that he literally he had it all. I just feel like
but he gave it to us. Like the reason he can't anymore is because he did it for us when he could, and he burnt his
that's absolutely true.
And it's like I don't know how else to put it, and I think that's a good analogy. Like
that is a very good analogy.
That part of his life is no longer because he did that for us. Yeah,
absolutely.
I have so much.
Never heard it like that, but I love the way you just.
It just hit me, and I love it too.
I love the way you just put that.
Can I just say, like, no matter what matter what anyone ever will fucking say, I have so much goddamn respect for Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter how much shit they put out. I still fuck with their music, have since fucking Suicide
Season. Me too.
But
since their first album.
Even if they put out shit that I hated, I would still have so much fucking respect for that band.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're so sick.
It's like, again, the last 2 albums like haven't been my jam. Step Eternal was dope. The one that they put out after that was good.
That's the Spirit. Is that
the
one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's the Spirit.
But like, when they put out a new album, I'll stream the whole thing. You know, or I'll buy it or whatever. Whether or not I'm gonna be into it forever, like I owe it to him. You know, and I want them to get the stream count. You know, even if it's only 15 streams out of Portland, Maine. Like, you know,
I think that band's just they're so fucking good.
Yeah,
and they're just like one of those bands that like. And I feel like you see more shit about them and people hating on them than any other band.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just like, it's like you said, bro. Like they gave us the shit that they gave us when they could do that.
Yeah.
In 2007.
Was that show he played, or it was like a year or 2 ago? He played old songs.
Yep. Yeah, they played the medley and shit. And it's just one of those things where like
insane. That's sick.
People have to shut the fuck up about the whole like, oh, why aren't you? Like, I remember when they were hot topic deathcore band. Shut the fuck up. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. That's dope. Let these fucking 15-year-old kids who like only know that's the Spirit and like Ammo and all that shit. Let them fucking enjoy their thing.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy your thing. Let them enjoy their thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying, dude.
You know what? And I just want to touch back on, you said it quietly because we were talking, but Asking Alexandria is another prime example of that. Danny Warstomp even more specifically.
Literally one of the best of the best.
And he, obviously fame had a lot to do with it too, with you know, the path that he took and everything like that. But again, that's another person and or band who ruined their fucking lives. Granted, he's rich. He's doing fine. He came out on the other side okay.
Yeah.
But he's
chilling.
He's my age. And I know I look pretty old for my age. He looks like shit. Like his teeth are all fucked up now. He's bald.
He's rocked.
Yeah.
He's been around the block. Been around the block.
You know, and again, that's just another example of, you know, people giving us what they can.
I think that's just, at the end of the day, that's what it is with all bands that evolve. There are some bands that fucking evolve their sound, and even me, I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? But at the end of the day, let people enjoy their shit.
Absolutely.
There's people out there that enjoy every era of a band sound or certain era of a band sound, like, doesn't fucking matter, bro.
Yeah.
Bands are doing their thing. That's the whole fucking point, is to do different shit because it just gets boring.
Yeah.
Even us, dude, we've been doing the fucking beatdown shit with Hollowell and, like, the separation and all that shit, and, like, we're bored. That's why we're not going far away from that on this EP, but, like, we're throwing in those riffs and the crazy shit because we're fucking bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I feel that.
If people hate it, at the end of the day, we had fucking mad fun making it. Like,
I do have to piss like a racehorse.
Fastest way is right outside the door.
Yeah, I love that. Ooh, I gotta pick.
Just set your headset on the table and try not to kick any cameras or cords.
Yeah,
I can do this.
Race like a piss horse.
Race like a piss horse. That's fucking fast.
Fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, I am stoked we did. I'm glad this worked out.
Yeah.
As last minute as it was, I think it's gone really well.
Yeah, Brandon hit me up about it like last night and whatever it was, like last night or the other day.
Well, yeah, last night we said let's do it in a month.
Yeah.
And then today we're like, let's do it today.
Yeah, he hit me up last night and goes, "When can you do it?" And I said, "Whenever." And then he texted me this morning. He goes, "How about tonight?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Gotta bite my tongue. But no, I'm fucking stoked. This shit is dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. And the more I do it, like the better it's getting to, and the more fun I'm having with it. And I feel like the more fun my guests are having. And some of it I try to keep like more structured. Some of it I don't, and it just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, we talked about porn earlier. We can talk about whatever. You know what I mean?
We talked about porn? Oh my god, we did.
Yeah.
I always fucking talk about porn. Maybe I'll get a porn endorsement.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Have all my shit premiered on Pornhub.
Hey,
speaking of Keonashi,
do it.
They did it, didn't they? Keonashi, didn't they put one on Pornhub?
King 810.
They definitely did, yeah.
Someone showed me a video once of them. It was one of their music videos on Pornhub, and it's just them playing amongst an orgy.
I didn't know that.
Black and white orgy.
That's fucking
Men
awesome.
and women. Yeah, it's crazy, and I'm pretty. It's only on Pornhub, like obviously.
Yeah,
but it's fucked. Brandon left for like 5 seconds talking about porn again.
I guess so. You're like black and white.
You just gotta lighten it up. I really fucking went in on the Bring Me the Horizon thing, and now I just gotta lighten it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm a little buzzing right now, so I got time to sober.
Yeah, for real.
I got a couch too, so we got.
We got nothing to record this week. We got no other interviews to do. We're chilling.
Yeah.
I'll be here all night.
Well, I don't know if I can do that. I do have work at 8 in like 8 hours, but no. But yeah, dude. What can we touch base on now? What do you want to talk about? Anything? I don't know. What's going on with there's not much going on in the music scene because of COVID.
Yeah,
I know it sucks.
It's literally all just YouTube content
and people being canceled. You know, I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of. I feel like I've been watching a lot. Speaking of YouTube, I've been watching a lot more shit on YouTube that a year ago I thought was dumb as shit.
Like what?
I'm trying to think. I think that I think that Logan Paul and Jake Paul are fucking idiots. I hate both. I strongly dislike both of them.
I do want to see them in a ring, though.
That's what I'm saying. Hear me out. I think that both of them are stupid.
Let somebody beat him up. I think both of them
he's
are asking
stupid.
for Conor McGregor.
Well,
give him Conor McGregor.
Did you see what he said today?
No. Did he put out something?
Yeah. He was like,
no, I definitely want to
put money in my hand and we'll talk.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But I'm saying, like, straight up, I think both of them are the fucking worst. But, like, I've been keeping up hard on the, like, McGregor thing. I'm so invested in it. And
dude, me too. I'm all into UFC.
Shit,
dude.
like,
I love UFC MMA. I think it is such like the best sport of all time. Talk about like putting two men in a ring. You can play sports, you can play whatever, but it is
you can't
another
fake this
thing.
shit. You can't fake UFC.
To literally be like, take one another out right now.
Jake Paul made a resounding impression after registering his second win in the professional boxing circuit after knocking out
against a retired NBA player
who's like 40.
Yeah.
Round of his fight and was quite expressive in his post-fight interview. Jake challenge the titans of UFC Conor McGregor and a member of his camp, Dylan Danis. The popular YouTuber and is confident of challenging the top five.
This is clickbait, and it doesn't actually show what he fucking says.
Can I just say, I was saying earlier, I fucking
Fuck, it is. Go ahead.
I fucking hate Logan Paul and Jake Paul, but I do have to give, if I'm giving any props to either of them, Logan Paul's fighting Mayweather, right? And he straight up has been very openly like, yo, Mayweather's going to kick my fucking ass. Like, he's been talking shit, you know what I mean? But like, I think Logan Paul knows that like Floyd Mayweather's going to fucking kill him. And he's straight up.
He's getting paid.
He's straight up like Logan Paul's straight up like, yo, like end of the day I'm fighting like one of the best fighters in the world. Like I'm got mad respect for him. Whereas Jake Paul called Conor McGregor's wife a 4, bro.
Dude, and did you see how because obviously like big Instagram accounts like that don't typically follow a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did you see that the only person he's following right now is Conor McGregor's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then fucking Dylan Danis changed his profile picture to him and Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just block Jake Paul? I would block that.
Dude, I just want... it's like you said, bro. I just want Jake Paul to hype it the fuck up. I want him to get in the ring with McGregor, and I want McGregor to just hit, like, literally first 10 seconds, spin kick to his fucking head.
Literally gonna eat him up. Oh, I love it so much, though. I really can't wait. Because
And
Conor McGregor is probably looking at his wife, and he's probably like, you know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be able to find it.
My other fucking thing about it, too, is
I
that
love him so much.
Jake Paul, he said some shit to Conor. This is what my other thing about Jake Paul is. He just doesn't fucking get it. I don't think he gets how the UFC works. Because he was saying some shit. He was saying some shit about McGregor, and he was like, yo, McGregor only wins his fights because he fights lightweights.
Yeah.
He's a fucking lightweight.
Right.
That's
He's
how
a heavy
UFC
lightweight,
works,
yeah,
bro.
he's
That's how the
literally like
UFC works. You don't fucking put...
He's taken over 2 divisions. He took over the lightweight and the heavy lightweight, right?
Like, you don't
Like,
put
it was-
McGregor up against, like, fucking Kimbo Slice. Like, that's just not how the UFC works. You know what I mean? It's not WWE.
Yeah, obviously he would get eaten up if he went into heavyweights.
It's
and
not
stuff
some
like
fucking
that.
Rey Mysterio versus Big
Yeah,
Show
and Jake
type
Paul
shit.
is like
Rey
a
Mysterio,
he's
I love how
a-
you went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
It's just fucking...
619.
Yeah, it's just annoying that Jake Paul is all like, yeah, you beat up some small people. Because Conor McGregor's like fucking 5'10", bro.
Right.
Like, that's just... Like, he is a lightweight. That's his class.
Dude, my daughter walks like Conor McGregor.
You got the strut.
She puts her fucking chest all the way out and swings her arms like that when she's pissed off. It's the funniest thing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the McGregor and the Vince McMahon of WWE.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, for real, McGregor's got hitters, too. Did you see this shit that, like, the fucking Irish mob, like, was like, yo, Jake Paul, we're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh my god, I couldn't.
Could you imagine,
He's probably the top dog for one of those. Like, if that's even a thing, like he's probably endorsing.
Hey,
like he's investing. Yeah, he's rich. He's probably the kingpin of that.
Let me
shit.
just say too, I don't got a huge amount of respect for McGregor either. After he punched that old man in the face,
Right.
but I hope he fucking rips Jake Paul's balls off and eats them on live television.
Well, and they're gonna box too. Like they're not, Jake Paul wants to.
It's
box
not gonna.
him. Like,
yeah,
he
it's not
doesn't
gonna
wanna
be
get
an
in the
octagon.
Yeah.
But the McGregor, you got to
Christ.
think about it. McGregor's known for his boxing skills. That's why he got in the boxing ring in the first place. Is because he's known for his hands, not for like his.
Yeah, like when he tried to take Diaz,
or
he would
wrestling.
have fight against Diaz, dude. He would have won that shit if he fucking tried to take him to the ground. You remember that fight?
Yeah.
For literally no reason. Like he's Diaz is bleeding all over the place. He's fucking handing it to him, and then he's like, "I'm gonna go for a fucking double leg." Loses the fight.
Yeah.
And like the thing with Mayweather, I don't personally think that it's not even a personal thing. Like Mayweather did not outbox McGregor.
No.
You know, he didn't have the lungs for it. Which again, Mayweather is like fucking 50.
McGregor threw
Yeah.
more punches and I think landed more punches than Mayweather did. But the ratio, Mayweather had a better ratio.
Well, he also
might
he
get
did a
more-
lot of he used boxing techniques like turning his back and like all that shit. Like he
champ.
gassed him
Yeah.
using boxing
There's
techniques.
12 rounds. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
make sure you don't spend it
At
in
the end of
first
the
three.
day, like pulling it all back to basics, I just fucking hate 2020 and like 2021 in the sense of like Jake Paul and Logan Paul were like these little fucking what's up YouTube and like now they're fighting these like who's letting this happen? You know what I mean? Whether Jake Paul has $50 million or not.
It's the views, man. Everything's about the content.
But fuck,
it's a fucking cartoon.
I know.
What it's all about, though.
It's fucking pissing me off.
Even with the UFC, Jake Paul's getting more views than some UFC. Like he's
because it's all these it's all these fucking 15-year-old TikTok kids asking mom and dad to buy pay-per-view so they can watch Jake Paul fight a retire. What the fuck is going on?
Never trust a man. Never trust a man with 2 first names. Jake Paul, Ricky Bobby. What the fuck is this?
Dude, for real. I don't know. I just think the Paul brothers like need to go away. And I genuinely hope that in both of their respective fights that they just both get put down and that's just the end.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen unless one of them has a heavy right. And then because I'll give any fighter this, anybody can get knocked out with a heavy right. Anybody. You let me punch McGregor in the face as hard as I can to his chin. I think I can knock him out.
I mean, yeah.
I think you've had too much to drink.
Yeah, I think I do.
People a lot bigger than him, a lot bigger than you, hit him a lot harder than you can.
I think you're right. I hope he doesn't hear this.
I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, there is a soft spot in the face. Like, you get punched behind the fucking jawbone. You get punched below the ear. Like, people can get knocked out by that. Yes.
At the end of the day, Logan and Jake Paul have McGregor and Floyd Mayweather like on fucking size. Like, Logan,
for sure.
Logan's over Floyd like fucking.
Yeah, McGregor's
inches, fucking 100 pounds, and Jake Paul's got like McGregor on weight and shape. But at the end of the day, like McGregor's a fucking killer. Like he will fucking kill you.
Like how many times has Jake Paul been punched in the face by somebody that can punch the way Conor McGregor can?
Yeah, you can't fight. You can't fight a couple of YouTubers and a retired NBA player and then be walking around like.
Yeah.
It's fucked. It's fucked, and it's pissing me off. And like at the end of the day, I can't say shit because Jake Paul would probably put me on my fucking ass.
Oh, me too.
Oh, dude, he's definitely
he's a bitch.
Beef, dude. He's definitely like nobody likes him, but I give him that he has some hands. Like he wouldn't have been able to knock out that one dude. Just putting a little bit in the peace pipe here.
I think I will give him the respect for. I saw some shit the other day. He's like selling his house and he's like going to the mountains to like train.
Okay.
I'll give him the respect for the dedication.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's dope that he's like really into it. That's cool. But like don't be putting McGregor's name in your mouth. In any scenario. Scenario. Like even you just saying that you could punch him in the face, like my stomach dropped a little bit.
He's gonna find me and he's gonna call me out.
You're finna be the next old dude he drops in the bar.
He's gonna call. Shit, he's about to walk through this door.
For real. But
No, I take honestly thinking about it, I take that back. I feel like if he was in the room and he was like, punch me in my face, and I tried to, he would eat it. He would eat it and look at me, and he would probably tell me to run.
Bro, he would eat it and not even blink.
Thinking back, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm thinking, like, when he was like, I think you've had too many to drink, it was like Vietnam flashbacks of all the spinning back kicks he's done in the UFC. I was like, yeah, literally.
People,
I was
like,
oh, my God.
Certified killer. But I've literally just went on a huge rant about shitting on Jake Paul, but like I will give him like the stage presence thing. Yeah. Like as shitty as it was, and I think it was insanely disrespectful for him to post a video to his millions of followers calling McGregor's wife a 4 and with the fucking flag on his back. Like,
yeah, was that the one where he was like sitting in his car with a cigar?
Yeah. And he
just
was like,
to back up Jake Paul though, McGregor literally called out Khabib's wife and said, "Mate, your wife's wearing a towel," during a picture of their wedding. So I just want to back that up a little bit because McGregor made fun of Khabib's wedding photos because in his culture, his wife wears like a towel over his face because you don't want to show your beauty to other men. So that's their culture, and he was like, "Mate, your wife's wearing a towel over her head."
No one's saying that McGregor is not a cunt.
Yeah, no, I think they're all fucking crazy assholes.
Yeah,
but like that takes balls to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna get his ass beat.
It's so funny to hear that because like when people like Conor McGregor like talk that shit, I'm like, yo, that's fucking hard. But then when Jake Paul talks that shit, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, you're a bitch.
I could only imagine the game that they're in. They're famous. They're both like just talking shit. They're just like, all right, you know, like imagine being them. You're famous.
That's
millions.
That's
of
my
views.
other thing about the.
It's just funny. It's
all
funny.
all of those Paul brothers, all those people. As at the end of the day, like I understand the whole pride, like wanting to fight, whatever, getting into whatever. But, like, they have enough money to be set for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Just don't, like, you know what I mean? If I was Jake Paul, I was living in that mansion, I had fucking everything that I wanted. I got Lambos in the garage. I'd say, fuck YouTube, fuck everything. I'm going to take my daily trips to the bank. Y'all are never going to see from me
Dude,
again.
I
got my
guarantee
millies, and I'm out.
Talking about this now and thinking about everything, like, I guarantee, like, they talk shit, make the videos of each other, and then immediately hit each other up, and they're like, yeah, that's right, motherfucker. I'll say, you know, they're making millions. They're making millions talking shit to each other. They really are.
Well, it's like that whole thing when McGregor fought Mayweather, like they were sharing a private jet.
Yeah.
When they were touring for the conferences and stuff, there's pictures of them in the same private jet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all a fucking illusion, dude. You know, like
really
it's just crazy to think that McGregor, you think of McGregor's following and like literally the fucking mob and like these Irish like crazy UFC heads.
Yeah.
And then you look at Jake Paul with all these like fucking tweens that are like, get him, Jake. Fuck him up. Yeah. And it's just like fucking crazy. Like, could you imagine if there was no COVID and like it was a live event and there were people in the stands, like the diversity between like UFC heads and like these fucking TikTok
dude,
kids?
yeah, no.
It'd be fucked.
Yeah.
It'd be fucked.
Well, literally, like just you saying the private jet like part, I'm just like thinking about like all the setup fights because watching the UFC, the Khabib fight and the McGregor fight, I remember that there was a part where he was like, "It's just business. It's just business." Like during the fight, he was like saying in his ear, and dude, Khabib was smashing him because in his culture, he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
He simply just doesn't understand.
They
like,
don't
it's
do that
just
shit.
business. It's just business. He's just like, no, I'm going to smash you. And they did touch base on that. They definitely touched base on that.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my fucking TED Talk about how I fucking hate that shit. I don't know why.
Well, guys, honestly, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think we touched base on a lot.
Yeah. It was,
We really went
did, yeah.
fucking glove on this one.
We'll have to schedule a Katahdin part 2 with the other guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I
At some
think
point here in
they
the
would
future.
definitely enjoy that, and I think they would have a lot. I feel like we caught base on a lot, but I feel like they would probably look at this and be like, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about that.
Oh, dude, this was organic, though.
Oh
it was super fun.
I can't wait for this to come out and get in the phone call that's like, why did you say that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, fuck, Christ, dude. Yeah, I'll have to get a part 2 when the EP's out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we should wait until after it comes out.
Oh,
We
yeah,
can
definitely.
we can play more and talk more about, what was actually on there. But before we go, one or the other of you, I don't care who it is, you guys want to just like shout out your socials, make sure that everyone knows where they should be looking if they're looking for your music. I mean, nobody outside of Maine knows how to spell Katahdin, so
Yeah, Katahdin.
Yeah, everyone says Katahdin. Katahdin. Katahdin HC Hardcore. That's our Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on everything. Our music's on everything. All streaming platforms. Got a new EP coming in probably the next month or 2.
Yep.
And we're very stoked about that, and things just keep fucking rising, grinding. It's like really cool to see. So we appreciate all the support too.
Should we
wouldn't fucking be
shout
here.
out our personals?
if you want to.
You fucking attention whore.
Brembleton, follow me, please, if anybody catches this. And what's your
Max Calkins _ CALKINS _
I like that. That's
Yeah, thank you. Keep it simple. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate you for having us. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys coming out.
Thank you for having us,
Yeah, no
man.
problem, man. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Word.
Sweet.